Tuskegee fans, get ready. The hard-hitting action of Golden Tigers football is back as the winningest HBCU football program in the nation. All eyes are on the Golden Tigers in the 2024 football season with over a nation-leading 714 wins, 12 HBCU national championships, and 28 SIAC titles. The Golden Tigers are set to add another trophy to the crowded Tuskegee mantle with a championship run this season. As they do so, the Golden Tigers Sports Network is ready to bring you all the action from the gridiron, from every play to every touchdown. GTSN will be there with all of the excitement of Tuskegee football, and our coverage begins right now. Let's go inside the stadium. Here with the call, GTSN's Charles Ward and Mark Lassiter.
On a crisp afternoon here in Wilberforce, Ohio, the Golden Tigers Sports Network is live with coverage of the Golden Tigers as they get set to meet the Marauders of Central State University in SIAC action. So glad you could join us for our video coverage here from Central State University. Charles Ward alongside Mark Lassiter with the play call. And last, Golden Tigers of Tuskegee trying to take their win streak to 5 in a row against a team that's looking for a desperate win inside the SIAC.
Charles, even though Central State is struggling, one thing is certain. It is a long bus ride from Tuskegee, Alabama to Ohio. Estimated that it probably took the Golden Tigers about 10 hours of a ride to come this afternoon, and they got on the field 2 hours before kickoff for a pre-stretch, which was really interesting to see. They went back into the locker room, came back out about 90 minutes for their normal warm-up. So I think they're trying to work the kinks out from that long bus ride. But one thing is also clear. A famous artist once said, "I've got 5 on it." And the challenge for Tuskegee is to see if they can build on this winning streak.
Indeed, you're right, to get it to 5 against the Marauders of Central State. As you referenced, the Golden Tigers got here about noontime on yesterday and went right into practice session there, just stretching the legs and doing the same thing here on a crisp afternoon here in Wilberforce, Ohio. Right now, temperatures at 58 degrees and about a 10-mile-per-hour wind here. And Tuskegee having that long ride, just trying to stretch things out and make sure that when they start this football game, they start with all cylinders clicking.
Well, you know, when you have a long bus ride like that, some players are able to sleep and get some rest. Other players may be back at the bus playing cards and hanging out.
Just like you, right?
Exactly. So the coach's task is to see if they can get everyone focused, get them warmed up properly, and ready to go by kickoff.
They come into this ball game focused, as we referenced, to win 4 wins in a row. They are 4-3 overall and 4-1 in the SIAC. We'll talk about the way things are stacking up in the conference as this football game unfolds. But needless to say, Tuskegee can't be looking ahead. They got to stare straight into the eyes of the Marauders and throw the first punch here this afternoon.
And Tuskegee coaches have a strategy for this afternoon's game, Charles. They want to see if they can establish the run, get their quarterback Raekwon Beal into a rhythm early, and see if they can score first.
Bill with 253 yards in the air last weekend. We'll see if they can continue that cycle here at McPherson Stadium. We're live in the Booster Display pregame show. We'll take a break here, come back with more as Tuskegee gets set to meet the Marauders on the Golden Tiger Sports Network.
Broadcast coverage of Tuskegee Athletics on the Golden Tiger Sports Network is brought to you by Alabama Department of Public Health. Healthy people, healthy communities, healthy Alabama. Booster Digital Displays, dedicated to providing high-quality, affordable LED displays with exceptional service. TNT Fireworks, celebrating more than 100 years of America's #1 best-selling brand of fireworks. Alabama Power, developed for the service of Alabama. Wind Creek Casino, Montgomery. Elevate your game to fabulous. The Home Depot, more saving, more doing. Coca-Cola, real magic. Zuby's Taco Kitchen, Yellowwood. And by Vibes Restaurant, we're all about good vibes.
Back live inside the Booster Display pregame show. Golden Tigers getting set to meet the Marauders of Central State University as the invincible marching Marauder band just to our left start to crank things up music-wise. It's Military Appreciation Day here at Central State University, as well as Breast Cancer Awareness Day. So they'll be having activities throughout this contest recognizing both of those events. And Mark, you referenced that if there was a theme for today's ball game, it would be I got 5 on it. Let's talk about the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. How do they get to 5 in terms of 5 in a row with our Wind Creek Casino keys to the game?
Well, what's interesting about this team that started 0-3, Charles, they've got what I would call a law firm offense. The running backs, firm of Morris, Sellers, Spivey, and Leverett. 4 backs in the top 20 of the SIAC. You mentioned some changes we may see also at running back for Tuskegee. Another key to this game is going to be rush hour for Central State. If they're not able to run the football, Tuskegee should be able to jump out and have an advantage. But my third most important key is don't watch the ball. Watch the Tuskegee linebackers. And you can watch the play of their linebacker, Charles Davis Jr., who has really been under the radar, but had an outstanding game last week with 19 solo tackles.
So Davis Jr. along with Malik Moore and Noah Holton, the 3 you're referencing as a linebacking crew for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. But I want to go back to the law firm as it relates to the running backs again. We know that Johnny Morris will not be in the ball game this afternoon, and neither will Chase Sellers. So it'll be on Desmond Leverett, and we expect that it'll be 1 or 2 additions to the roster as it relates to the other running back that may have a presence this afternoon. Leon Allen, he's a freshman from Leesburg, Georgia, or it could be Devon Arrington, the freshman from Prattville, Alabama. So we may see 1 or 2 of those additions to that running back core for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. Wind Creek Casino, keys to the game?
Well, those keys, you got to peek at Charles Davis wearing number 8, warming up on the sideline. Also, the Central State band warming up right to our left. So that'll be an interesting challenge. The keys to the game, Charles, if Tuskegee can get its passing game started early, that's going to be a huge advantage for the Golden Tigers.
We'll see if they indeed can. Still a few more moments left in the Booster Display pregame show. We'll step out for a timeout. When we come back, we'll talk about some impact players in today's ball game. This is all just ahead here on the Golden Tiger Sports Network.
I love the lake. It's like one of the few places I can just let go and be myself. I really love it here.
Be the you you've always wanted to be. Wind Creek Casino. It's your kind of fabulous.
Back live in Wilberforce, Ohio, on the campus of Central State University in the Booster Display pregame show. Glad you could join us for our coverage on the Golden Tiger Sports Network. Charles Ward, Mark Lassiter, and last, as we get a few moments before the kick is conducted here, chance for us to talk about impact players in this ball game.
2 players to watch for Central State, Charles. Running back Kendall Boney, who had 12 rushes last week for 76 yards. He's joined by Jamarcus Leach, who went for 11 rushes and 44 yards. Now, those numbers may not seem gaudy, but I like Leach's average per carry. The other player that we talked about for Tuskegee on the left of your screen, Charles Davis Jr., he's the impact linebacker that will have the challenge of matching up against Boney and Leach in coverages.
And talk about Boney. Of course, Boney, the quarterback for the Marauders of Central State, and actually, like you referenced, almost like a running back in terms of his numbers on the season. But throwing the football, he's at 45% throwing, at 59 of 130 coming into today's ball game. But he's also thrown 4 interceptions.
Now, let's keep it 100, as they say.
Yeah.
Central State comes into this game only averaging 11 points per game. Their offense has struggled. Let's be frank. If Tuskegee's SIAC leading defense can maintain its playing personality and play to its character, that is the advantage.
The question is going to be, as you referenced, keeping it real. Can that Tuskegee secondary, which gave up 400 yards in passing last weekend, answer the call here at Central State against the Marauder offense?
It's a curious matchup. It's something that I'm sure that the defensive backs for Tuskegee in the off week have worked to correct. We'll see how those legs stand up after that long bus ride.
Yeah, that's going to be a big factor in this ball game. Cool weather here as well, so hoping the stretching really helped. The early stretching by the Golden Tigers will be to their benefit this afternoon. Getting set to send the captains out here to toss the coin to determine who will start. Talking to Coach James on Monday night in the Coach James show from Vibes Restaurant. His preference always is if they get the toss, it's going to be the defense out first.
There's another interesting contrast to this game, Charles. Looking at the rosters of the two squads, Central State has a roster that's stocked with players from Cincinnati and the Cleveland area. It's a very Northeast-heavy roster. Contrast that with Tuskegee, which is the Southeast represented team. Teams represented by players from Alabama, Georgia, Florida. So this is an interesting North-South matchup at the same time. Playing personality, which region has the dominant players?
Well, we should mention, as we're talking about that, one of the Marauders on the defensive side, Abraham Daniels, actually transferred into the program from Tuskegee up here to Central State. So we'll see how that trader does up in this ball game this afternoon.
So you're saying there may be a little bit of conversation down on the field while this is going on?
Well, we're going to keep an eye on that one for sure. He's the middle linebacker for the Marauders of Central State. Toss is being conducted here at Breast Cancer Awareness Month and Military Appreciation Day here at Central State University. And we'll find out shortly as the Marauders break it out onto the football field here who will have this football first to get things started. Tuskegee coming off that 253-yard performance by Raquan Bill last week, and that was a season high for him with the 2 touchdown passes, and both of those passes going to Quavo Beckford from that wideout spot. That duo looked real good last weekend. And I know you had conversations with the coaches prior to the ball game, and you referenced it in the pregame, that's one to see if they can't get that duo started up real early here.
And, you know, I was very curious to talk to the Tuskegee coaches, Charles, as you mentioned, as flashing back to what it must have felt like when they were 0-3. This is a program that historically is not used to coming out of a season with that type of record. And what they talked about at 3 in the morning, not being able to sleep, but at the same time keeping the players focused and convincing them that you had to play one game at a time. And they felt that once they got that one win in the column, that they would be able to turn this season around. And as we've seen with 4 consecutive victories, Tuskegee's Golden Tigers are rolling.
Indeed they are. Series between these teams. This will be the 11th meeting between the Marauders and the Golden Tigers. Tuskegee owns a big lead. They're 9-1-0 coming into today's ball game. Series dates back to 2013. Right now, Tuskegee on a 4-game win streak against the Marauders of Central State. And we talked about our theme about having 5 on it. They're trying to make it 5 in a row against the Marauders of Central State as well. Toss was conducted at midfield. It'll be that Golden Tiger offense to come out on the football field first, and we'll see exactly what the offering will be as we get set to start football action. But before we do that, we'll take another time out here on the Golden Tiger Sports Network.
I am Amari Christopher Hardy, the 66th Executive SGA President here at Tuskegee University. Stop what you're doing. Go to your phone, go to your computer, or go to the nearest monitor located near you and look up your voter registration status. And if you are registered to vote, then you must head to the polls on November 5th, 2024 to cast your vote for this primary election. And bring one, for we must be the change that we desire to see. In order to do that, we must have community. So again, on November 5th, 2024, we vote. TU.
Fans, join the Tuskegee University Athletic Department as they host the Golden Athletic Celebration, a special event in honor of the university's centennial homecoming. The celebration will take place on November 8th, 2024, from 8 p.m. to midnight at the Renaissance Hotel in Montgomery. As part of the historic 100th homecoming, the Golden Athletic Celebration promises to be an unforgettable evening, featuring a live band, DJ, complimentary food, exciting giveaways, door prizes, and an open cash bar. The event will bring together alumni, fans, athletes, and supporters of Tuskegee's rich athletic legacy for a night of entertainment and celebration. Tickets for the celebration are priced at $135 and can be purchased through Tuskegee University Athletics Department website or by scanning the QR code on screen. Join us for a night to remember as we celebrate Tuskegee's athletic heritage and 100 years of excellence.
Back live at Central State University. That's before kickoff. And standing by with head coach Aaron James.
Here fieldside with Coach James. Coach, how do you take advantage of a 4-game winning streak while staying hungry and focused on the task at hand?
We just got to stay the course and just play out solid ball, and that's it. Just eliminate turnovers and just play out solid ball. I mean, this team is a little scrappy, but we just got to make sure that we just do what we got to do in all 3 phases of the game.
Best of luck today, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach James, and thank you, Marcus, for doing that double duty for us, talking to head coach James. Mark, you heard him say they just got to stay the course. And the course this afternoon is get it to 5 if they can knock off the Marauders of Central State.
Coach Aaron James keeps things simple. He's not a man of a lot of words, but he knows he has the advantage this afternoon. If he can keep his team focused and get them off to this quick start, he should be feeling good by the halftime.
The Tigers of Tuskegee trying to make it 5-3 overall and go to 5-1 in the SIAC. They will have the football first to get things going here at Central State University. Back deep for the Golden Tigers to receive the kick. It'll be Beckford back there, joined by Devin Cooper for one of the rare times back there, and Justin Stitt. Kick going to be straight up and coming down to Pregame at the 10-yard line. Up the gut he goes, and spins out to the right side. Beg your pardon, that's Rodriguez McGee Sr. returning this time for the Golden Tigers to get things started on the offense as it comes out onto the football field. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. That Golden front four have really been doing a good job this season. Terrence Jordan, Justin, Sean Stinson, LeBron Merriweather, Brandon Arrington, and Elliott Howell, the men up front. Tight end is Johnny Gilbert. Beckford, Stitt, and Pregame, the wideouts. Raquan Bill at quarterback. And it's going to be Desmond Leverett to get the first haul at running back for the Golden Tigers this afternoon. So underway here at Central State. Pistol for Bill. Ball fake on the ground. Leverett up the second wave of the defense. Turns his back to the defense up to the 35. And that's our first Vibes Restaurant first down of the ball game.
Exactly what Tuskegee wants off the start. A big first down on the first running play off tackle.
Leverett handling that football. Good ball fake by Bill, and the men up front pushing space to get that first down. Football now at the 35-yard line for the Golden Tigers. Ball fake, and again they go Leverett on the inside. Leverett on one hand working his way near the 40, middle of the football field. That's about a 5-yard pickup there. Tuskegee will take that one.
Central State brought Michael Sherrill Jr., the defensive back, into a blitz position right before the snap of that ball. Sherrill got in on the tackle.
Golden Tigers averaging about 4 yards per play when they run the football. It's a good start on these first 2 on the ground. 2nd down and 5 after the carry by Leverett. In motion, Pregame Ball fake throwing across the middle. That one's high and almost intercepted there, trying to get Bregman on a crossing route near midfield.
Notice Central State, Charles, immediately on defense, trying to disguise their coverages. They only had one defensive down lineman in that last setup. They're really doing an interesting job of trying to mask their formation on defense. Watch how they bring players to the line of scrimmage at the last moment.
Mike White, Caleb Constable, and Kenyon Smith, the three up front lining for the Marauders of Central State. Don't see that very much in college football anymore, that they have only three up front and get the linebackers kind of tight near the line of scrimmage as well, though. 3rd down 5 for the Golden Tigers. Bill passing this time. Here comes the pressure. Bill steps up, cannot avoid it. They wrap him up at the 30-yard line. You talk about the disguise, Mark. They sent the linebackers on that play.
That was Jaleel Lenore for Central State. He wears number 33, who came on that corner rush very effectively, stopping Beal behind the line.
Lenore, the leading tackler for the Marauders, came in today's ball game with 63 and 5.5 tackle for losses. He'll get another one there after the sack on Bill. So that'll bring up Larkin Ryan for the first punt of this football game. Tuskegee, nice couple of plays to start this drive, but they stalled at the 40 or the 35, and now Ryan is on first punt of the contest. Larkin with the kick, turned this one over beautifully for Tuskegee. Bouncing at the 20-yard line. Will it get out of bounds? It'll go into the end zone, trying to kick it away from the return man. Good job with that. Got some wind behind that one, tried to get it inside the 20.
Watching Larkin during pregame, Charles, he's more of a power kicker. It's rare that he gets the ball into a spiral formation, if you can call it a formation, but a spiral attitude. Got the bounce at about the 15-yard line. Ball went into the end zone. That's one of Larkin's best punts of the season.
But you talk about it in terms of the power kick. That's actually what we saw on that one. It was a lot of power. Tried to get it in the 20, but when it hit the surface, it was going so fast that it just flipped forward and got into the end zone in a fraction of a second. So the Marauders now will start on offense from their own 20-yard line. 13:07 left in first half. No score here from McPherson Stadium on the campus of Central State University. And it's Kendall Boney, the quarterback for the Marauders. He will keep it on the ground, trying to give it to Leach. And Leach pushed toward the sideline by that surging Golden Tiger defense.
We've talked about football being a very simple game, Charles. Run the ball, stop the run. Interesting to see Tuskegee try to come out early and establish the run. Central State attempting the same thing to the near side of the field.
Yeah, we were talking about that in the car on the way over here. I thought it was going to be more of a passing affair. So far, you've got the lunch in your corner. Boney this time. He'll line up in the short pistol behind center. Slot is at the top of the screen. 2nd down effort here after a loss of 4 on the previous play. Boney trying to keep it himself, didn't fool a lot of people. Lunges ahead to about the 15-yard line. Not sure if that was a busted play or a design run by him.
Either way, it was Messiah Wells for Tuskegee, the defensive tackle, who did an excellent job of diagnosing that play, getting to the right spot, and stopping the quarterback for Central State in the backfield.
Messiah Wells, Terrence Mays, Jarrell Colbreth, and Anthony Scott up front for the Golden Tigers. Talking about the rest of that defense after this play. Boney in the pocket's got plenty of time now. Now they'll flush him right side, and they'll get him sacked down near the 2-yard line. You almost have to give that a secondary coverage sack there because he had plenty of time, just couldn't find anybody downfield.
Give credit to number 26, Javion Miller of Tuskegee. An excellent pursuit and closed at the last possible minute for that sack. Dangerously close to the end zone.
So that Golden Tiger defense. I think we had a assessment there. Didn't see a flag, but they're moving the football back to the 20. And it'll be 3rd down and 10. Never did see a flag on the field. But the Marauders will have another look at it here on a 3rd and 10. An infraction against the Golden Tiger defense. And Boney with another look. He'll take the snap. Pressure at the corner by the Golden Tigers. Now they collapse on him. He'll float out to Leach. Leach hit once and spins down near the 24-yard line. Pickup of about 3. So the Golden Tiger defense now, after the extra play, able to get off the football field.
Leach will be stopped short, Charles, but that pass just floated from the hand of Boney. That is something that defensive players love to see, a quarterback with that little on the ball. But as it stands, Tuskegee takes over and will go into punt reception formation.
Jose Jerez set to punt it away now for the Marauders of Central State. Averaging 37 yards a punt. He's 7th in the SIAC in that category. At the 45-yard line to receive. Stiff, good high punt there by Jerez. It'll bounce and kick a forward roll inside the 20.
That ball was dangerously close to hitting a Tuskegee player in the foot, Charles.
Yeah, you heard a couple of the fans down below us saying, go ahead and get it, go ahead and get it. They thought they saw it touch one of our men coming back to help on the coverage. But it'll belong to the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. So second possession now with 10:32 left in this first quarter.
We watched the Central State punter during pregame. He was launching some kicks that were traveling 60 yards in the air. That may be an advantage as we get into this ball game deeper. Special teams.
And he was kicking into the wind on that previous kick. His longest punt of the season is 44 yards. So Bill and the offense back out on the field now for the Golden Tigers. Slot, top of the screen. Bregman one-on-one down at the bottom. They'll keep it on the ground. Second wave, Leverett past the 30 up to the 33-yard line. Good work up front by that line to create that hole, this time on the right side of it.
Tuskegee's offensive line, Charles, has really been getting more and more in sync, led by their center, Merriweather.
On the ground again, Leverett trying to fight it back to the inside this time. Stopped after about a 3-yard pickup there.
After Tuskegee struggled with the coverages on the previous drive, interesting to see them come out very conservative, keeping it on the ground, letting Raekwon Beal, the quarterback, get into more of a rhythm. They'll probably give him more of an opportunity to pass once they get outside of the 40-yard line.
Right now, the Golden Tigers at their own 36. Second down and 8 for Tuskegee. High snap, but they get it on the ground. Leverett slides to the right side, not a lot of room in there. And the Marauders converge on Desmond right there. They're going to mark him back near the 30, nearly 35 after that surge by the Marauders up front.
Now, this is a huge third down call for Tuskegee, Charles. This is a 3rd and short. Beal, who's done an excellent job himself of picking up some first downs on the ground. This is a 3rd and short call.
KJ Law inserted in there. He's a part of the slot formation at the bottom of the screen. Bill back to the sideline. Clock at 8:55 left. Pretty quick moving first quarter of football. Play clock working down to 2. Snap to Bill. They were coming at the corners. Raekwon, no time. That surge by the Marauders. They get another sack on him, this time near the 31.
Just when I was giving props to center LeBron Merriweather, that snap to Beal was to his left. He had to lunge to just make a good play on the ball, and that threw the timing of the entire playoff. By that time, Beal recovered. Central State was in the backfield.
Yeah, they were sending the linebackers at the corner and got a good lean in there as a result of him actually leaning that way. Ran right into that coverage. So Larkin back on now to punt it away for Tuskegee. Ryan, SIAC Special Teams Player of the Week last weekend. 5 PATs for him and a 43-yard field goal earned him that honor. Larkin with the kick. Floats this one. Fair catch called for. And the squeeze takes place near the 28-yard line. It was Trayvon Searcy on that return of the fair catch for the Marauders of Central State.
Charles, this game has the feeling of two boxers just probing early,
Nice
not
call.
being very successful early in their play calling, but Central State on this second series of downs, wouldn't be surprised to see them try to put the ball up for a change.
Yeah, we talked about this for the Golden Tigers coming into the conditions up here in Ohio. Obviously cooler here at this time of year. And the Golden Tigers are used to playing, as you referenced the geography about where their players are from, used to playing in a warmer climate. and we'll see how much of an impact that's going to be in this football game. So as we go on the ground, left side, nothing there. That surge by the Golden Tiger defense, nicely done up front.
Now, I'm not one to second-guess officials, but there seemed to be a little bit of motion early from the left side of the Central State offensive line. That offensive line was not in sync on that last snap count. Very stout defense for Tuskegee inside, stopping that last run for virtually no gain.
It was Charles Davis, the name you referenced in the pregame show, that made that stop. 13 tackles for him last weekend. And a good start here. Last weekend we just kept saying, well, we don't remember calling his name that much, but we called his name here on his first stop and makes it a second down play. Loss of 2 on that one for the Marauders. Boney in the pocket. Here comes the pressure again. They'll get a wrap up on him in the backfield. Another sack there. This time it's going to be Jarrell Colbreth, the sophomore, on the sack of Boney.
Now, we like to be fair to all of our viewers and try to describe what's happening in the game. On that last defensive set for Tuskegee, they brought their 2 corners very close to the line of scrimmage in what is called press coverage. So both of the defensive backs were no more than 4 yards away from the 2 wide receivers trying to get into their running patterns.
3rd and 18 now for the Marauders after the sack on Boney on the previous play. He'll take a drop, 2-step, fires upfield, does some batted around, almost picked off in that secondary by the Golden Tigers. And good coverage there on that route by Rossi Grimes for the Golden Tigers.
Rossi Grimes got a hand on that football, and there was also another safety deep that had a shot at the deflection, but Tuskegee's defensive backs, who've been a bit maligned coming off of last week, made an excellent play on that last pass.
So the Marauders to punt it, and Shiraz will line up near the 7-yard line. Tuskegee with a good chance here to flip this football field if they can get a return on the kick from Shiraz.
Now, you're going to have to explain flip the football field to some of our viewers.
I got to explain it. This one batted around. I think it was touched. Golden Tigers say that they did.
That's the second time.
Yeah. Eckford selling it as though he didn't touch it. The side judge agrees with him, but boy, it looks like he was awfully close to touching it if he didn't.
The second time we've seen the punt return team for Tuskegee dangerously close to getting a hand on a loose football, and the Central State sideline was trying to plead the case that they had made a recovery.
Sure. So on the punt by Shiraz, the Golden Tigers will have it at their own 46-yard line, referencing this idea about flipping the field. If they'd gotten a return there and perhaps got it by midfield, even at this distance on the field, you can say that's a good start for the offense. Better than the 20 or the 25 to start it. So you flip it to some degree in terms of where you start your possession. Beal. Ball fake. He'll take the drop. Now looking, fires to the sideline. Pass in and out of the hands of Justin Stith. Stith anticipating contact there, just looked away up from the football.
Stith was the safety valve. Beal wanted to go deep to Brigman, but Brigman was covered deep at about the 30-yard line. He's working against Trayvon Searcy of Central State. That's the matchup to watch.
That time, Bill, with some time on the pass, had to check it down, and Justin not able to hang on to it. So it's 2nd and 10 now from the 46, whistles at the line of scrimmage.
Tuskegee trying to go Wildcat to Spivey. That play seemed to be a little bit out of sync. We've seen Tuskegee go to the Wildcat formation on consecutive plays.
They have gotten good results on that Wildcat formation. And this time, they'll push the football back to the 41.
Charles, I'm certain the coaches coming off that long bus trip have really been concerned with making sure that their players are mentally sharp, especially early in this ball game. You don't want to see those ticky-tack penalties early.
Or you don't want to see Justin Stith dropping a football right in his hands there, too, on that little dump down from Bill. Wildcat formation this time, as you referenced, class. They'll slide the tight end down the line, direct snap to Spivey. Spivey trying to turn it right side, hit at the line of scrimmage. But Ronaldo just trying to keep those feet churning. Got a yard out of nothing initially on that play. So that'll bring up 3rd down and about 13 now for Tuskegee.
Tuskegee's offensive line has not been able to carve out any space. Sean Stinton, who was lined up on the right side at guard, was responsible for getting that seal block and had no success. That play was really stopped before it got started. What yardage was picked up was simply on individual effort.
Absolutely, good call on that. Raekwon Beal back out on the football field now. He'll start with 3 receivers at the top of the screen and 2 at the bottom. 4 up front for the Marauders as Stith goes in motion left side. They're coming again. Bill fires. This one upfield, underthrown. Pass goes incomplete.
Ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage. You can see the officials signaling because Beal had Brigman open at about the 40-yard line. We talked about Beal last week in his throwing angle. So if you visualize a clock and the release point of a quarterback being at 12 o'clock, think of where the ball comes out of his hand. Watch Beal's motion. Beal delivers the football probably more at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, and sometimes he's prone to having a ball tipped at the line of scrimmage as a result of that low release point.
Benefit for the Golden Tigers on that play, though. There was a penalty against the Marauders of Central State. And the Golden Tigers now will have the football now down at the 43-yard line of Central State. And a fresh set of downs on a Vibes Restaurant first down coming via the penalty. So Bill now, as they send Kamoko in motion right side, high snap, they got it on the ground to Leverett. Leverett saw that hole was closed up, tried to slide outside of the tackle, but the Marauders stayed with him.
I don't think we've had a game so far this season where LeBron Merriweather, the center who was inserted as the starter after the 3rd game, has been this off on his shotgun snaps.
One factor could be we got this 10-mile-per-hour wind here, and that may be affecting him to some degree in terms of not getting that direct snap in as he normally does. 4:48 remains first quarter, no score. Golden Tigers on the Marauders' end of the football field. Beal handles a snap, got some time now. Survey's going up top. Brigman, he's there. Catches at the 20. They try to wrap him up near the sideline. Brigman down at the 13.
Now here's what's interesting. That snap from Merriweather came to his left, but he was able to adjust, make the throw. Give credit to Raekwon Beal to hitting his receiver, picking up a huge first down for the Golden Tigers.
He hit Reggie Brigman, number 12 in the conference in terms of receptions. He had 22 coming into today's ball game. His first of the afternoon. That's good for another Vibes Restaurant first down and Tuskegee inside the red zone.
Thanks for the replay, guys. You can see Beal snatch that ball to his left side and make the throw.
All you got to do is say it, and they'll be right on top of it.
I don't want to put too much on their plate.
Oh, their plate's big, man. Leverett, left side, got some space now. Tries to dance back to the inside, and inside of the 10-yard line, down near the 9.
Now, here's where Tuskegee loves to go to the power game. Inside the red zone, they have this multitude of 5'9" backs who are quick off the snap. They use that quick burst. Let's see if they go to the run game.
Leverett got 5 on that play. 2nd down and 5. As Kamoku slides the line, he'll set right side. High snap, but Leverett with it. Left side bounces off one would-be tackler. Now just picked up in the air and knocked down back outside of the 10. But forward momentum will keep him down near the 5 as they mark it.
Charles, maybe it's me, or it could be the Central State defensive line. The Tuskegee running game just seems to be a slight bit out of sync early in this football game.
Trying to determine the spacing for the Marauders up front. They close those gaps real quick because it looks totally different when you come to the line of scrimmage versus when they fill them after the snap.
But we haven't seen a team run as few down linemen as Central State. We've seen plays where they've only had one player with his hand on the ground, the rest in an upright position, adjusting to the play.
Football at the 10-yard line and not the 5 as Bill takes the snap, looks, fires, got a man there near the 3. Catch made and wrestle down outside the 3 on the 5-yard line. Stith with the catch there, and a lot of traffic that time. Got it near that first down marker, and I think he got enough for that Vibes Restaurant first down. So it's going to be 1st and goal to go now for Tuskegee.
Watch Stith on the slant, facing his quarterback, making the catch, trying to pick up something extra. Got his pads facing towards the end zone on a play where he could have easily been spun in the opposite direction.
Bill throwing downhill on that play. Nice connection to Stith. 1st and goal to go now. on the ground. Leverett got some space, cuts it back to the inside near the goal line. And they're going to put him out just outside of the goal at about the half-yard line.
Nothing fancy for Leverett. He's trying to run behind Ray Berry, the offensive lineman for Tuskegee, who goes 330 pounds.
Leverett.
Off center, in between the tackles.
2nd and goal to go now. Leverett looking for his first touchdown run of the season. Joins Bill in the backfield. They bunch it up right side. Bill, high snap again, on the ground. Leverett, did he cross plane here? The surge just pushes him back out front, and Tuskegee denied again by that Marauder defense.
I'm just going to give Raekwon Beal credit for handling some of these errant snaps from center. That time, ball was again to his left, made the adjustment, and turned just in time to make a good handoff.
You are absolutely right. Just dangerous on the snaps from Merriweather at this point. Got to settle in on that with 63 seconds left in this first quarter. Tuskegee facing a 3rd and goal. This time looks like Bill's going to go under center, and he may try to sneak it in himself with that big body of his at 6'5", 225.
Beal talking to Stitton right before the snap.
They bunch in, reverse play, they give it to Bregman. Bregman turns the corner, he's in for the Golden Tigers. So they go with a little trickery there at the goal line, and Bregman scores left side on the run.
Tuskegee decided, okay, we've done enough probing inside. Let's try to get to the corner. Did an excellent job getting the 6. And this is a very important move for Tuskegee to get that first score on the board.
Ryan on now to try to point after. Perfect last weekend. Snap, they handle that. Larkin handles the rest. Tuskegee, their slogan is, "In Larkin we trust." And you can trust them there on that point after. Tuskegee with a 7-0 lead with 36 seconds left. First quarter of action. We're live from McPherson Stadium, Central State University on the Golden Tiger Sports Network.
Hey everyone, I'm Scotteria Scott, a graduated senior animal science major hailing from Atlanta, Georgia, currently serving as the Executive SGA Elections Commissioner. As we celebrate homecoming, I want to take a moment to highlight an important event happening on November 5th, Voting Day. This year, our voices matter more than ever. Whether you're a first-time voter or someone who's voted before, let's make this homecoming memorable, not just by celebrating, but by standing up and making a difference. Vote on November 5th.
Golden Tigers strike first here. Reggie Brickman on a run left side, and the Golden Tigers lead at 7-0. Ryan set to kick it away now for Tuskegee. Ryan with a deep kick into the end zone and over the head of Jeremiah Cadet, the sophomore. And the Marauders will have it from line of scrimmage after the kick by Ryan.
Charles, our most informed viewers understand one of our themes is don't watch the ball. On this next series, player to watch Kequan Kimber, number 32 for Tuskegee. He's a linebacker. He's been one of the most influential players this season, especially during this winning streak.
Right now, our fans are watching the invincible marching Marauders of Central State. They're trying to crank things up here at McPherson Stadium. Tuskegee's already cranked it up on the scoreboard with a 7-0 lead. Boney back at quarterback now. He'll set in shotgun. Low snap, but they'll get it on the ground, left side. First wave of the defense. Tuskegee shuts him down at the sideline.
Tuskegee got an excellent surge on the right side of its defense as their quarterback, Boney, Central State's quarterback, had a difficult time with a snap that was at his ankles and threw the rhythm of that last handoff off.
Tyrell Johnson on the carry, the senior from Sarasota, but nothing doing there. Line of scrimmage remains the same. 6 seconds left. We'll see if the Marauders get this play off before this quarter expires. I think they're going to be content to wait to the second quarter to get things going. as time expires. First quarter comes to a close, and it comes to a close with the Golden Tigers leading it 7-0 over the Marauders of Central State. Timeout here on the Golden Tigers Sports Network.
This is going to be a long snap battle.
Versus them, survival. We must win, it's tribal. My team like Ken, by any means necessary. One head-to-head with adversaries. Nothing is given, so we gotta take it.
Willie Streeter here, owner of Vibes Restaurant and Lounge in Tuskegee, Alabama. Also the host of the Aaron James Coaches Show. And this is the Golden Tiger Sports Network.
Into the second quarter we go. Tuskegee with a 7-0 lead over the Marauders of Central State. Tuskegee trying to make it 5 in a row and trying to take their conference mark to 5-1 to stay in the hunt. With Albany State Miles at the very head of the conference right now. Fort Valley in that mix as well, and the Golden Tigers all bunched up in there. And it's still up in the air as who's going to come in at number 1 and who will come in at number 2. But the Golden Tigers starting to take care of business here at Central State. The Marauders essentially out of the picture as it relates to playing in that conference championship at 1-5 overall. But Tuskegee does not want this to be an obstacle for them this afternoon. Boney, he'll keep it on the ground, trying to slide to the outside. On the corner with the football is Jaden Bosey, and Bosey chased out of bounds inside that Tuskegee bench.
I like the way that Rossi Grimes defended that last run. Once the runner was trying to put a fake on his move to the outside, watch Grimes close and keep his footwork going, make the tackle, forcing the runner out of bounds.
Bosey, the redshirt freshman on that carry, 77 yards, 1 touchdown for him for the Marauders of Central State. Pickup of 3 on that play.
Grimes matched him stutter step for stutter step.
That's how you want to play it, step for step. 4 up front for the Golden Tigers, coming at the corners now. Boney in the pocket, shoots it toward the sideline. Catch made there at the 39-yard line. Good second effort there to get it up past the 41-yard line, and a first down for the Marauders of Central State.
Give credit to Boney. That ball is about 30 yards in the air from the near hash mark to the far sideline. Boney seeing his receiver breaking open. Watch how long this ball is in the air on an arc and accurately thrown for the first down.
A good move there after the catch as well to pick up another extra couple of yards for the receiver. On the ground now, they'll keep it. Banging back to the inside on the carry, it's Bossy, and Bossy up near the 45. So Central State starting to get its feet up under them after giving up the touchdown to Tuskegee.
Another player to watch for Tuskegee, Charles, and for our viewers, Malik Moore, linebacker. Tuskegee's linebackers are really disguised safeties.
Sure, Moore. His 29th appearance as a starter for the Golden Tigers. At least 1 tackle in the first 28. Boney rolling right side, just kind of grounded that one near the 45.
This would be an interesting third down call for the Tuskegee defense, whether they decide to bring their linebackers closer to the line of scrimmage against Boney, who seems to be a little bit more confident in the passing game coming off that last long completion.
They will send in Tyler Russell in the lineup. It's like an obvious passing situation here from the Marauders of Central State. Just underway here, second quarter action. Tuskegee with a 7-0 lead. Boney lines up in shotgun. Tuskegee backpedaling it up to the sidelines, trying to get it into hands of Russell, who just got onto the football field, but overshot Russell, who was behind the sticks.
Now, we said don't watch the ball. Watch Kaquan Kimber. Kimber got a nice little shot on that receiver after the catchable ball was muffed on the far sideline.
So that'll bring up 4th down now for Central State. And it'll bring up Jose Cherez now to punt it away. Beckford stands at the 20. Beckford had a little difficulty on the last one. And here comes the kick. Booming kick there by Shiraz. Beckford backpedals, calls fair catch, squeezes it at the 15. Boy, they're getting all they want from the punter Shiraz in terms of him ensuring that offense for the Golden Tigers doesn't start further upfield.
I get a kick out of watching punters during pregame, and what I like to keep tabs on is how many times they can get the spiral out of their punting technique. And Shiraz, during pregame, he was getting a pretty good spiral on 7 out of about 10 of his kicks during pregame warm-up.
Yeah, and he was kicking that one in with the wind behind him. With the height that he has on it, drives it further down the field once it gets up in the air. So Tuskegee from their own 15 to start. Kamoku slides the line. Bill takes the snap. Ball fake. Bill rolls right side. Now unloads it toward the sideline as the pressure from the Marauders chased him to the right and into the end zone.
As Beal was rolling and released that last pass to the Tuskegee bench, he wound up in the corner of the far end zone with his momentum. Beal is really not one to throw on the run, but watch after the throw. He had so much momentum going the other way, he releases, feels contact, and just keeps on going.
Bo Jackson moment there, right? 2nd and 10. Yeah, that's about a 30-yard run there by Beal. Here's Beckford in motion on the ground. Spivey slides the line looking for the corner. Initial attempt to evade the Marauder defense. Got a couple more yards, but not a whole lot there at the corner.
Travis Reese, the linebacker for Central State, had a shot at the running back for Tuskegee, pounded the turf after he missed the tackle on the sideline.
3rd down and 9 here for the Golden Tigers. Tuskegee from their own 16-yard line. And you know the Marauders are thinking stop them here on 3rd, and then they'll get a chance to flip this field. Double slots either side for Beal on a 3rd and 9. Snap, pressure at the corner. Beal slides, rolling to his left, just has to fling it beyond the Marauders bench. They came with that pressure again. Great time for Tuskegee if we hadn't seen it yet, with so much pressure by the Marauders up front to be thinking about a screen pass.
Intelligent move by Beal just to get rid of that pass because he has been sacked a few times so far in this game.
Bryan's on now to punt it. And back deep, it'll be Searcy, a sophomore from Macon, Georgia.
Searcy is setting up very close to the midfield line. So if there is not a dramatically decent punt for Tuskegee, Central State should have excellent field possession to start this next drive.
Larkin only averaging 31 yards per punt. And he has a football now. Larkin's just waiting for everybody to go downfield. Larkin just kept it and runs it right side. We've seen him do that before. And Ryans and Larkin we trust on the ground.
One of the most unusual fakes you will ever see. There was a delay where you could see the Central State covered return team just freeze. Larkin watches all of the momentum go downfield and says, well, if you're going to clear out, I'll just might as well pick up this first down.
Hey, he was like, okay, can I walk it?
Central State just turned
and everybody gone
and went.
Such a delay on that. Everybody looking downfield, including the fans. And Larkin's like, okay.
And you got to think that's an improvised play by Larkins. That's not a designated fake by Tuskegee.
Not that deep on the ground. Now direct snap on a reverse Bill. Bill being chased. He has the ground that one with the pressure coming. They started that out with a pitch to Spivey. And Spivey back to the right side and into the hands of Bill.
Everyone was fooled on the field except Travis Reese of Central State, who kept the pressure on Beal, forcing him to throw that ball into the turf.
So Tuskegee, they got a touchdown on a trick play, trying to go again here at the 44-yard line.
That's a glimpse of Larkin running with open space as everyone on the Central State punt return team has just simply vacated the premises.
No doubt about it. That's close to our Alabama Power TU play of the day on that one. And this time Beal faking the Spivey and did not fool anybody on that play. It was Devin Buskin, the sophomore, right in the tracks of Beal to pull him down.
Buskin did not go for the ball fake, and Beal was fortunate that he was able to hold on to the ball. Watch how close he comes after the fake to having that ball a little bit loose in his hand. Buskin was right there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Spivey was supposed to pick him up on that block, but it happened so fast that he wasn't able to adjust, and Beal, the victim of the tackle by Buskin. So Tuskegee, after the fake punt by Ryans, now backpedaling offensively. 3rd and long, high snap, Beal handles, sets in the pocket going upfield. Pregame, or that's Beckford. Beckford with a big catch there for the Golden Tigers. Signals first down, and he is spot on. That's a Vibes Restaurant first down all the way back, or down at the 20-yard line of the Marauders of Central State.
Beckford in double coverage between Dylan Perry and Michael Sherrill. Watch the last pass being complete by Beal in a perfect spot for his receiver to turn and make the catch.
Beal on the ground, Spivey, second wave of the defense. Ronaldo worked his way down inside the 5, down at the floor with some fancy footwork after he got to that second wave of the Marauder defense. So the Golden Tigers find themselves now, after facing a 4th down punt situation, at 1st and goal on the other end of the field after that run for a Vibes Restaurant first down.
Tuskegee's offense seemed to be picking up the momentum and the tempo just a bit.
Absolutely. Got inspiration from that fake punt. Pregame in motion, ball fake, Spivey dances his way toward the end zone, knocked down at about the 1-yard line. A lot of misdirection by Tuskegee using the wideouts.
Spivey trying to run right behind big center LeBron Merriweather. He's 6'2", 305 out of Montgomery. Merriweather is the anchor of that Tuskegee front.
2nd and goal to go now. Misdirection. They give it to Spivey again. Spivey this time knocked down for a loss on the play by that surge of the Marauder defense. Thomas Tucker leading that, the senior from South Norfolk, Virginia. So now the Golden Tigers 3rd and goal to go. We saw that trick play at about this point when they did score to Pregame on the reverse. See what they come up with here on 3rd and goal. Gregory King, senior, into the lineup. He'll line up at the left tight end position. Spivey joins Beckford, or Beal in the backfield. There he is, Spivey wide open at the 2, touchdown Golden Tigers. Boy, that was nice by the Golden Tigers. Misdirection there, sent everybody looking left and just sneaking out of the backfield with Spivey right side, and Beal found him.
Timing pattern, well done by Beal to the corner. Watch the timing. He releases before the running back has a chance to even turn and look back for the ball.
Indeed, that's the right call. He was just there at the spot. Good job there by the Golden Tigers offensively. Ryan on now to try to point after. Wynn kicking up. He'll be kicking into that win for Tuskegee. They get it down. Kicked by Larkin. He just punches that through for Tuskegee. Make it 14-0. Golden Tigers take the lead now with 8:30 remaining in this first half of play. Timeout here on the Golden Tiger Sports Network.
Hello, Tuskegee fans. I'm Lawrence Tony Haygood, mayor of the historic city of Tuskegee, Alabama, and this is Golden Tiger Sports Network.
Fans, mark your calendars for a monumental event. Tuskegee University will celebrate the 100th homecoming this year on November 9th, 2024. Join us on Saturday inside Abbott Memorial Alumni Stadium as the Golden Tigers take on the Miles Golden Bears with kickoff set for a 1 p.m. start time. Be sure to come out early, wear your crimson and gold, and help us make this homecoming one for the history books. We'll see you there.
Hey, are you fixing the power?
Yep.
Back live here at McPherson Stadium. Tuskegee with another touchdown. They lead it now 14-0. Ryan with a line drive kick. Going to be caught over the shoulder there by Cadet. Cadet, middle of the field, works his way past the 30-yard line. Tuskegee catches up with them there. They finally put him down near the 31.
I couldn't help but notice that graphic for Tuskegee's 100th homecoming, and I would like to perhaps hint that Golden Tiger Sports Network has something special planned for Tuskegee's 100th homecoming.
Yeah, you're being kind of subtle about it. This is going to be something you have never witnessed before in terms of coverage of a homecoming event. We want to make sure you're tuned into GTSN for our coverage on homecoming day. We'll preface it by saying that ESPN Plus will be there doing the game, but GTSN will be there doing everything else, including an audio. That's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun for the Golden Tigers right now. They lead at 14-0. On the ground for the Marauders of Central State. That's Leach with the football. The red shirt freshman knocked down behind the line of scrimmage.
Let's go ahead and give a goal start to Javion Miller. Add another one for Charles Davis Jr., who we mentioned in the pregame. You know, it's funny how players just seem to change personality and sometimes improve during the season. Charles Davis Jr. has come on strong.
Indeed. You talked about Kwan Kimber doing the same thing. Now we're seeing Davis kind of do that same modeling as well. And that's what you need throughout the season. You need players peaking and claiming that right for a couple of weeks and somebody else taking up that mantle. On the ground, Leach looking for space instead. Who runs into him in the backfield? This time it's good coverage by Aiden Glover, the Tuskegee native, on the stop for the Golden Tigers.
The play by Glover was so interesting, Charles. He was matching the running back step for step on the handoff. It's interesting to watch the technique when a player can diagnose a play and match the physicality of a runner and meet him at the point of attack.
Indeed, it's almost like they're playing downhill. It's just so easy for them. Right now it's a 3rd down and 14 for the Marauders of Central State. Pressure at the corner by Tuskegee. Boney still in the pocket, slides to his right now. Trying to pump it upfield, got a man there wide open, and he can't catch the football. Had Cameron Hopkins, the grad student, in stride at the 30, and he didn't take the gift.
The thing was that Boney on the roll gave a hand signal to Hopkins, who was breaking open at about the 40-yard line. Hopkins in space had the ball delivered in a perfect spot and simply dropped it right in front of the Central State crowd. You could see a groan come up from this side of the stadium.
No question about it. He was trying to find a hole. Don't see any holes to dive in here, but he wanted to just get away. Wide open on a dropped pass. So Shiraz now on. They punt it away with 6:54 left first half. Tuskegee with a 14-0 lead. Snap to Shiraz. High kick. Beckford backpedals and calls for the fair catch near the 26-yard line.
It's not the big things that can make a difference between a successful program and a program that is struggling. It's the little things. That pass would have picked up a huge first down for Central State. A catchable ball just dropped. And the worst place you want to drop a football is in front of your own bench.
Yeah, just want to run. They've got a tunnel here. It's Military Appreciation Day. They have a tunnel leading back to the locker rooms. You just want to keep running. And not to mention the momentum that it would have given the Marauders of Central State. Tuskegee had just scored, and now the Golden Tigers back with the football again, lining up in the Wildcat. 4 up front for the Marauders. That's Justin Stith in motion right side, on the ground, keeping the football and working it past the 30-yard line up to the 31. On the carry for the Golden Tigers is Zena Mulba.
We talked about playing personality of a team changing during the season. Head coach Aaron James of Tuskegee has also started experimenting with different formations. This time, note the Wildcat on this drive. This is the second consecutive play out of that formation.
Stith again in motion right side, directly to Mulba. Mulba trying to follow Leverett at the corner. Leverett with the block. Zena with the run. Up to the 40, down at the 41. Good for the Vibes Restaurant first down.
Great call on the block, because once Tuskegee got the seal, Mulba had enough space to easily pick up that first down.
Indeed. Leverett leading the way. 5:55 left first half, 14-0 lead for the Golden Tigers. Wildcat continues. This time Spivey lines up with Leverett. 1st and 10 from the 41. Play clock down to 10. This time Stith slides left side. High snap on the ground. Ball fake. Leverett this time wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. Good defensive work there by Thomas Tucker, the senior for the Marauders of Central State.
There are sometimes very subtle things that happen during the course of a game, Charles. On the Central State sideline, Carlos Carter, one of the defensive linemen, just went over to give a pound to Cameron Hopkins, who dropped that last long pass. Hopkins was sitting on the bench with his head down. Nice to see another player come over and try to pick him up.
Quan Beal back out now at quarterback on a 2nd down and 12 for Tuskegee. Marauders showing they're coming on the ground. Tuskegee, second wave of the defense. That's Leverett with the football. Desmond just picking its way through that secondary, got it up to the 44.
And speaking of fours, with 4:40 to go in this second quarter, Tuskegee with the ball and the lead would like nothing better than to keep possession of this next drive as long as possible and see if they can go into the locker room with a bagel on the board.
Yeah, they started this drive from the 15 after the punt, and right now up to the 44. The clock running at 4:16. Bill on a 3rd down and manageable 7 here. We'll see what they do on this play. Tight slot to the top. Bill looking that way, fires, coming back. This is going to be picked off.
Had a man.
Yeah, threw it right into the hands of Jordan Chestnut. And going down the field, never looking back, I think he thought that Leverett was going to turn around and address that football.
Leverett was running a fly pattern. Beal was thinking he was going to break the pattern short. Just a simple miscommunication. Watch the running back continue down the field, and as a result, Central State makes the interception.
Wow, we're just talking about what the Tuskegee wanted to do with the remaining time. But just that miscue, as you referenced before, sometimes it's the small things. In this case, it's just not looking back for the football. Threw it right to the spot, but the receiver ran past the spot.
What did Bobby Womack have that album, Communication?
Oh, yeah, it's always important. Relationships and in football. 1st and 10 now for the Marauders of Central State, just off of midfield at their own 49. Boney in the pocket. He feels the pressure. He'll slide right side. Now dumps it upfield and coming back to make a, no, they say that's incomplete. He's trying to get it back to Terrell Heath, the senior.
There's also a hold up. I should say, let me back that up. A flag was dropped at about midfield at the position that you normally see a hold called.
So you covered yourself, right?
I had to cover myself.
Sure.
Well, Boney's trying to be creative and make something up. There was a bit of traffic with the lineman in front of him. And as it stands, it will be offensive holding called against Central State on that improvised play by Boney.
So that'll push them back inside of their own 40 to the 39, and the clock at 3:51 left first half. Tuskegee with the 14-0 lead. And what's at stake for the Golden Tigers? Stay in hunt for that SIAC championship game. Other games this weekend, Benedict's in action against Miles, the #1 team, on the ground, left side, a ball fake by Boney. Good job by him. He'll try to work it right side at the corner, but wrapped up there. Good defensive work there by Malik Moore, the name you called earlier. Malik fighting off that blocker at the sideline, shedded that and got to Boney.
Malik Moore was working against Aaron Scott, the offensive lineman for Central State, who was trying to get an angle.
So that'll bring up 2nd down now. 2nd down and 20 after the assessment. Also in action this afternoon, Fort Valley in contention for that SIAC championship game. They are the homecoming opponent for the Maroon Tigers of Morehouse College. 2nd down play here for the Marauders. Play clock working its way to 3. Boney with the snap. Got some time. Now dumps it middle of the field. Catch made there, spinning ahead. After the grab is Cameron Hopkins. Hopkins trying to make a little bit of amends for that drop pass a few moments ago. So that'll bring up 3rd down. And this will make it 3rd and 10 for the Marauders. Back now to the 49-yard line where the penalty occurred to push them back to their own 39.
Tuskegee, 2 down linemen, linebackers playing shallow.
Boney in the pocket. Going upfield and got a flag coming in there. Downfield on the coverage was Aiden Glover. And Glover was beat on that play by Brandon Brock. And Aiden only able to try to stop him from catching the football, grabbed him.
I'm going to give credit to the Central State fans that are seated right below us. Once they saw that contact, everyone was shouting, holding. Referee came in with the flag, so at least the fans are paying close attention to these receivers as they're running their patterns.
Yeah, that was a one-on-one situation at the sideline. And I believe Stevie Wonder would have called that one. Just grabbing him just because he was beat on that play. 2:21 left first half, 14-0. Golden Tigers over the Marauders, but Central State with the football trying to see if they can't score before the break. Boney comes to the line now, joined in that backfield by Leach. Tuskegee with 4 across the defensive front. High snap on the ground, Leach with the football. Kimber holding on left side, makes the leg tackle on him as Leach lunges ahead for about 4 or 5.
Kimber had to hold on. That play could have been a lot more dangerous. Kimber doesn't make that tackle. Tuskegee's linebackers only playing about 4 yards off the line of scrimmage. They've cheated them closer to the line of scrimmage, expecting run.
Marauders of Central State will take a timeout with 1:52 left in this first half, Mark. They know that this is essential for them to try to get a score in before the halftime.
I'm looking at the scoreboard clock, which is still running. I would say about 5 seconds burned off the clock. Now they're resetting it. The officials are huddled up at about the 30-yard line, so it'll be curious to see how much time they put back on this clock going into halftime.
Yeah, you're right. It was at 1:43 and running. Now it's at 2. It looks like they may get a signal from the officiating crew as to where they're actually going to put that clock before play gets set to resume.
Now we're in a safe position, seated behind the home stands. But as you get a peek at the officials on the field, Charles, look at the pants and how they're whipping in the wind. So we've seen the center struggle with the shotgun snaps. I'm also looking at the flag to the left of the scoreboard. So wind could be also a factor in this ball game.
Yeah, you're right. We got an advantage of the concrete wall behind us, so we don't really feel the conditions they feel down here on the field, that is. And we talked about those snaps early on from Merriweather, but we also saw it from Central State Center as well. They'll leave it at 2 minutes, and what they should have done right there is stopped it at the 2-minute warning. And flags coming in as the Marauders of Central State get set offensively. And that kind of explains that, Mark, as it relates to this clock situation. It was running, but you have to stop it at the 2 minutes at the end of the half and then at the end of the fourth quarter as well.
It was just odd to watch the scoreboard clock continue to run after the play was over, long over.
That movement against the Marauders up front, that'll push them back an additional 5. Golden Tigers, Charles Davis leading in tackles for Tuskegee. Javon Miller, he's got 2. Kimber, a name you called, he has 2, and Messiah Wells with 2 as well. 2nd down and 12 now, or going to be 2nd and about 12 for the Marauders of Central State after the assessment. Boney in shotgun. He's joined in the backfield by Jaden Bosey. Play clock at 7. On the ground, Bossy, second wave of the defense, spins out of one would-be tackler, works his way down to the 30-yard line. Good second effort there by Bossy.
Something we haven't seen a lot this season, a missed tackle by Charles Davis of Tuskegee, as the running back for Central State just simply spun out of that and picked up enough to make this a 3rd and reasonable call.
3rd and 6 is what they're showing on the scoreboard. And we're down to 1:33 Golden Tiger defense trying to deny the Marauders. Showing blitz. Now backing up is Kimber to a linebacking spot as Boney settles in trying to get that play from the sideline. Snap, pressure. Got a man wide open and can't get it to him. Just floated it high. Tried to get it back to Hopkins, but that one too tall for Hopkins. So a minute 12 left. Guess you could say Hopkins didn't have the hops to get that incomplete pass.
I'm going to overlook that and just note that Terrence Mays got tangled up with one of the linemen for Central State. It took another player for Tuskegee to come in and get between Mays and say, okay, we're in good shape. Do not lose your temper in this point coming off that third down call.
Indeed, we talked about that last weekend as well, as that discipline is an advantage for you if you're able to maintain it.
It's a sign of a veteran team when you have players that are willing to step in and correct other players.
Timeout on the field with 54 seconds remaining first half. Now Marauders genuinely took this timeout because they're going to be facing a 4th down and 5. This stage of the opponent on the field, obviously they're going to go for it here.
Well, if you're Central State, you're thinking, what do we have to lose at this point? We have been struggling on offense. We have the ball in Tuskegee territory. So even if they don't convert, Tuskegee would have the ball on its pretty close to its own red zone.
Sure. Nothing to lose for the Marauders here except to try it here. Tuskegee with a 14-0 lead. Central State facing a 4th and 5. And they take that clock back to a minute and 1 second left here in the first half. Invincible marching Marauders will be performing here at halftime. Crowd starting to fill in here at McPherson Stadium.
A very fashionably late crowd.
And they're going to line up for a field goal instead now with Shiraz. Put this down at the 38-yard line. It'll be a 48-yard effort by Shiraz and special teams for the Marauders. Field goals, he's 5 of 7 for the Marauders. Long for him is 35 on the season. This will challenge that. This will be a 47-yard effort. Snap, they get it down. Blocked at the line of scrimmage by the Golden Tigers. Picked up by Reynolds for Tuskegee, and Cameron out of bounds at the 40-yard line, and Tuskegee comes up big on special teams. That's special teams for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. They're 13th in the country in 4th and block attempts. Got their 5th right here on this punt. Field goal attempt.
3 elements to football, Charles. Offense, defense, and special teams. And so far, Tuskegee's Golden Tigers have excelled at all 3.
Indeed. 5th block of the season for Tuskegee. And they'll have the football back now with 63 seconds left in the first half. Bill back out on the field. He's joined by Mulba in the backfield. See if Tuskegee goes for more here with the 63.
They're going to be conservative.
Well, I think it may depend on this first play. We'll see. Trips at the top of the screen now for Bill. He'll take the snap and drop. Looks upfield, and he's going to be sacked there. Good search by the Marauders of Central State. They were trying to find something upfield.
They had an idea. Justin Stith for Tuskegee was running a fly pattern right about the 35-yard line in single coverage.
Now they'll likely go conservative after they did not get that football field upfield and took the sack instead. So the football will be at the 35-yard line. Clock running now with 29 seconds left. Bill with the snap. Pressure at the corner. He feels it. Now slides to his right. Pumps it upfield, trying to get behind the coverage is Brigman, but Bill on the run overshoots Brigman and will check the flag here behind the play at the line of scrimmage.
I can say with 95% certainty that we're going to get a hold on Tuskegee on that last improvised play by Raekwon Beal.
Yeah, you went out on a limb on that one, huh?
Sometimes you just got to take a chance.
18 seconds left. That will go against the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee.
Now with 18 seconds to go, Charles, this is when you take the snap, simply take a knee, and be happy to go into the locker room at half up 14-0.
Golden Tigers, second least penalized team in the SIAC, only had 41 coming into today's ball game. get one there. Now they'll punt it or sit on that knee with 18 seconds left. Bill lining up in shotgun, though. He'll go on the ground. Mulba. He'll have as much space as he needs to run this football right side. And Marauders obviously in prevent, and that'll get that clock started here. See if that'll be our final play of this first half. Yeah, Tuskegee and everybody else walking toward the sideline, so that's where first half is going to finish. Tuskegee with 2 touchdowns in this first half of play. Got them both on the ground, and they will go into the locker room with a 14-0 lead over the Marauders of Central State. We're live from McPherson Stadium on the Central State campus as Tuskegee takes the 14-0 lead. We'll take our break here on the Golden Tiger Sports Network.
Greetings. I am Amari Christopher Hardy, the 66 Executive SGA President here at Tuskegee University. Stop what you're doing. Go to your phone, go to your computer, or go to the nearest monitor located near you and look up your voter registration status. And if you are registered to vote, then you must head to the polls on November 5th, 2024 to cast your vote for this primary election. And bring one, for we must be the change that we desire to see. In order to do that, we must have community. So again, on November 5th, 2024, we vote. TU.
Staying up to date on all recommended vaccines is one of the safest preventative care measures available to protect you and your family from disease. Many children and adults that delayed vaccination during the pandemic are still behind schedule. It is crucial that we take steps to get everyone back on track with their routine immunizations. Tuskegee fans, let's all do our part to get back on track. Protect yourself and others by making sure you are up to date on all recommended vaccines, including respiratory virus vaccines. Don't wait. Vaccinate. For more information, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM.
I love the lake. It's like one of the few places I can just let go and be myself. I really love it here.
Fans, join the Tuskegee University Athletic Department as they host the Golden Athletics Celebration, a special event in honor of the university's centennial homecoming. The celebration will take place on November 8th, 2024, from 8 p.m. to midnight at the Renaissance Hotel in Montgomery. As part of the historic 100th homecoming, the Golden Athletics Celebration promises to be an unforgettable evening, featuring a live band, DJ, complimentary food, exciting giveaways, door prizes, and an open cash bar. The event will bring together alumni, fans, athletes, and supporters of Tuskegee's rich athletic legacy for a night of entertainment and celebration. Tickets for the celebration are priced at $135 and can be purchased through Tuskegee University Athletics Department website or by scanning the QR code on screen. Join us for a night to remember as we celebrate Tuskegee's athletic heritage and 100 years of excellence.
Be the you you've always wanted to be. Wind Creek Casino. It's your kind of fabulous.
Golden Tiger fans, individual game tickets for the 2024 football season are currently on sale and can be purchased by visiting GoldenTigerSports.com or by calling 334-727-8594 or 334-724-4385.
Hello, I'm Dr. Mark Brown, class of 1986, president of Tuskegee University, and this is the Golden Tiger Sports Network.
Tuskegee and the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference promotes good sportsmanship by its student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, derogatory comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated, and the grounds for immediate removal from the site of competition. Fans, mark your calendars for a monumental event. Tuskegee University will celebrate the 100th homecoming this year on November 9th, 2024. Join us on Saturday inside Abbott Memorial Alumni Stadium as the Golden Tigers take on the Miles Golden Bears with kickoff set for a 1 p.m. start time. Be sure to come out early, wear your crimson and gold, and help us make this homecoming one for the history books. We'll see you there.
Hey, are you fixing the power?
Yep, I'm gonna get the lights back on.
Yeah, my power went out and I have to start level 14 all over again in our game. Yeah, why didn't mine go out?
Well, we have this technology that can stop an outage in its tracks.
Why?
So less people will be affected during the outage.
Why?
So you can make it level 15.
Come on, Brian, let's go to your house and keep playing.
Good luck, guys.
Keep up with Tuskegee Athletics on the Golden Tiger Sports Network with games and other content carried on the Tuskegee Athletics YouTube channel throughout the season.
Versus them, survival. We must win, it's tribal. My team like Ken, by any means necessary. One head-to-head with adversaries. Nothing is given, so we gotta take.
For more information on Tuskegee,
here at Central State with Tuskegee leading at halftime, 14-0, and we are pleased at the Golden Tiger Sports Network to be joined by members of the Tuskegee National Alumni Association. I'm joined by Pamela Bean, representing former president of the Indianapolis chapter. We really appreciate you being here to join us.
Thank you for having me. Anytime I get a chance to support Tuskegee, I am there.
Well, the thing that we're trying to do at GTSN is involve the Alumni Association.
Yes.
And you've been wonderful to be one of the first members to really add to the responses that we've gotten early in the season. So we thank you for being here and thank you for your support.
Oh, awesome. Again, anytime I can do to promote HBCUs, but particularly Mother Tuskegee, I'm there.
So I have to give you a bit of a heads up. We have something special planned for homecoming. And we're going to invite and challenge all of the National Alumni Association presidents to participate in homecoming at Tuskegee on November 9th with our special broadcast.
Okay.
So what we want all of you to do is tell your fellow alumni presidents to be present. But before we get into that, I'd like to get one reflection of what Tuskegee means to you.
Oh, wow. There's so many things I don't know. It's hard for me to narrow it down to one, but it gave me a sense of family and belongingness. Going to Tuskegee, so coming from an environment where it was predominantly white, to go to an environment again where I was celebrated, not tolerated, it meant a lot to me. So that's probably the most powerful thing.
And Tuskegee's environment, for those of you who've never visited, is one of the most unique environments of all, especially at homecoming, where you can't even say it's like family, because it really doesn't do it justice.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
It's one of the few places that you can walk that campus and somebody's going to claim that they know you, whether they know you or not.
That's true. That's true. And all we just say is happy homecoming, and it's like, what is their name? What is their name? But everyone recognizes everyone.
So, Pamela, we only have 2 headsets, but you brought some friends with you.
I did.
Would you introduce the people that you brought with you?
Absolutely. So we talked about a challenge on homecoming from all the presidents. So I also challenged Terry Merriweather, who is a former alumni president, Tuskegee Alumni Indianapolis chapter president as well. So Terry Merriweather is with me. And then I also have David Smith with us. And so we all just jumped in the car and came over to support Tuskegee.
That's wonderful, too. We definitely appreciate you showing up to support the Golden Tigers. What have been your thoughts? If we can share the headset. So my first question is, this Tuskegee Golden Tiger team started 0-3, and all of a sudden, they've won 4 games in a row. How does that make you feel as a Golden Tiger?
Oh, that makes me feel great because I see that they made some adjustments on their offense and on their defense. So hopefully they can keep that going on through the remainder of the season. And then hopefully, we make it to the playoff, the SIAC championship game. So, exactly.
Are you making plans to come at homecoming?
Oh, yeah. Got my reservations already, so I will be there.
Wonderful,
Exactly.
wonderful.
Exactly.
You can pass the headset down. We're just going to keep it family here. Right. So we appreciate you being here in Central State. What has been your impression of the Tuskegee Golden Tiger football team so far?
Oh, I tell you what, it has been outstanding as I watch or listen to almost every game they've played and to see the progression of the team. We had a first tough loss the first game.
Right.
The second game, we started showing some momentum, and now it's building, especially with the current win streak, so it is outstanding.
Well, what I love about your observations, what makes Tuskegee special is that fans come and watch the game. It's not just about the party. Tuskegee has some of the best and most attentive fans in the SIAC.
Oh, absolutely. And our alumni base extends so far. I mean, as we're here and we're seeing other, like not only students or we're seeing members here, somewhere there's a connection with Tuskegee.
No doubt.
It just shows the depth of that alumni base.
Now, let me see if I got my math right, because we started sending out notices. I counted 44 national chapters. Is that about right?
That sounds about right.
That's pretty incredible. And those chapters extend around the world.
Absolutely.
So, I want to thank all of you for joining us. Pamela, especially you. Thank you for bringing your friends.
Oh, absolutely.
Next time we won't have to share the headset. We'll have 2 more. But enjoy the rest of the game and hope to see you all at homecoming.
Thank you so much. And I will make sure to share the word with our national and regional club alumni presidents as to the great works that you're doing.
We really appreciate that. Thank you so much for
All
being
right.
here.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Great.
Hey, Tuskegee fans, I'm Reginald Ruffin, Director of Athletics, and you are listening to the Golden Tiger Sports Network. Go to you.
Attention fans, be a part of history by placing an advertisement in the Tuskegee Football 100th Homecoming Game Program. Whether it's a business card size, 3.5 by 2, quarter page, half page, or full page ad, you can showcase your support for our Golden Tigers. Prices start at just $100. For more information, scan the QR code on the screen or visit GoldenTigerSports.com. Don't miss out on this special opportunity to celebrate Tuskegee's 100th homecoming.
Greetings. I am Zanaya Sims, a senior pre-law political science major from Little Rock, Arkansas, currently serving as the executive judicial advisor. And why you should vote. Our ancestors fought tirelessly to vote, going through unimaginable obstacles to make sure that their voices were heard. Voting on November 5th, you will be able to protect your future and protect the ones that you love. Thank you.
Be the you you've always wanted to be. Wind Creek Casino. It's your kind of fabulous.
At the intermission, Golden Tigers with a 14-0 lead over the Marauders of Central State. And we are absolutely pleased to be joined here at halftime by the athletics director here at Central State, Kavicia Brown. Thanks so much for taking time to join us.
Thank you for being here. Thank you.
Well, we have to thank you because you allowed us to come up here to do our video coverage. Normally we would be here on an invite just for audio, but you were so kind in allowing us to video this ball game. And we're hopeful that your Central State Marauder fans will be entertained and enjoy. I know things aren't going the way that you want right now at halftime, but we're glad that you allowed us to come up.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Let's talk about athletics at Central State. You're not even finishing your second year yet. Give us an overview of what's going on in terms of athletics at Central State.
And so athletics is just expanded since I've gotten here. We have new coaches on our team. I have a new women's, men and women's volleyball coach, Coach Devin Walker, from a D1 program. I have Anitra Cole, who comes from Norfolk State University, who won the MEAC a couple times in women's basketball, and then Coach Travis Lewis, who came to us from Cleveland State University. And so we're making some changes, as well as adding Director of Strength and Conditioning and Performance, Keon Thorpe, who came from Alabama State. So Division I coming into Central State University to enhance us, play at a different level, play more aggressively. So you'll see a lot of different things from us this year.
Well, as you're talking about this new personnel that's part of the department, it really kind of follows your addition to the department because you bring a lot of experience here to Central State and at the D1 level as well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit about how you got here then.
So I started I'll go back before college athletics. I got my first opportunity as an assistant coach under Frank Wabadell at Tallahassee Community College.
I know that place well, yeah.
So that was with women's basketball. From there, I had an opportunity at the U.S. Olympics and U.S. Paralympic Committee. Coming from there, I went to the First Tee out of Jacksonville, which is under the World Golf Foundation. Enjoyed that. I was able to be back home, and then from there I got my first college athletics opportunity at Alabama State University, where I worked under Jennifer Williams, who is a woman AD now over the USA Basketball Foundation. And I moved up the ladder there and seeing things, that could be improved and showing what I have to offer. And that prepared me to take on at the Citadel, where I was an associate athletic director. And then from the Citadel, right here at Central State University.
We were talking about it that you're not quite finished with your first year yet, your second year. What imprint do you want to put on this program here at Central State?
I want to bring a championship culture. I can say, when I was at Alabama State, had it not been for COVID, we would have had the most consecutive Commissioner's Cups in this SWAC. And so bringing that atmosphere here, bringing that mindset here, and just building a program where not only student athletes get to succeed on the field, but off the field, in the classrooms, and getting connected with the community and prepare for the world and the job force.
Well, we were here during basketball season last year, and you allowed us to cover basketball here in the arena just behind us here. And one of the things that I noticed just looking from afar was that people have just been very receptive to you in terms of taking over as AD.
Yes, I love the community here. A lot of people are shocked because I'm a woman from Florida.
Sure.
It's like, oh, I know you're gonna hate Ohio, but I love Ohio. I love how hospitable everybody has been, and everybody is on the same trajectory for the goals and the vision of the university, and I love that. And I have to thank my President Cootie, because he has a big vision for the university as well. And so it's going to be a lot of great things that you're going to see coming forth under his leadership and in the years to come.
Well, Kavicia, we know we're going to see good changes in terms of athletics, in terms of your leadership. We thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Kavicia Brown, athletics director here at Central State University. She's doing a wonderful job here, and we'll be back with more from her facility here at McPherson Stadium after this time out on the Golden Tiger Sports Network.
Fans, join the Tuskegee University Athletic Department as they host the Golden Athletics Celebration, a special event in honor of the university's centennial homecoming. The celebration will take place on November 8th, 2024, from 8 p.m. to midnight at the Renaissance Hotel in Montgomery. As part of the historic 100th homecoming, the Golden Athletics Celebration promises to be an unforgettable evening, featuring a live band, DJ, complimentary food, exciting giveaways, door prizes, and an open cash bar. The event will bring together alumni, fans, athletes, and supporters of Tuskegee's rich athletic legacy for a night of entertainment and celebration. Tickets for the celebration are priced at $135 and can be purchased through Tuskegee University Athletics Department website or by scanning the QR code on screen. Join us for a night to remember as we celebrate Tuskegee's athletic heritage and 100 years of excellence.
Hello, I'm Dr. Mark Brown, class of 1986, president of Tuskegee University, and this is the Golden Tiger Sports Network.
Tuskegee and the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference promotes good sportsmanship by its student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, derogatory comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for immediate removal from the site of competition. Fans, mark your calendars for a monumental event. Tuskegee University will celebrate the 100th homecoming this year on November 9th, 2024. Join us on Saturday inside Abbott Memorial Alumni Stadium as the Golden Tigers take on the Miles Golden Bears with kickoff set for a 1 p.m. start time. Be sure to come out early, wear your crimson and gold, and help us make this homecoming one for the history books. We'll see you there.
Hey, are you fixing the power?
Yep, I'm gonna get the lights back on.
Yeah, my power went out and I have to start level 14 all over again in our game. Yeah, why didn't mine go out?
Well, we have this technology that can stop an outage in its tracks.
Why?
So less people will be affected during the outage.
Why?
So you can make the level 15?
Come on, Brian. Let's go to your house and keep playing.
Good luck, guys.
Back live at McPherson Stadium on the campus of Central State University. Golden Tigers of Tuskegee with a 14-0 lead as we get set to start second half action. Quick look at some of the numbers from that first half. TU with 9 first downs compared to 2 for Central State. On the ground, TU with just 24. That's doubling the Marauders' output, though. They have only 12 yards on the ground. Rushing yards, 77 for Tuskegee, 3 for the Marauders of Central State in that first half. So this is kind of how we get set for the second half, Mark. Tuskegee with the 14-0 lead and leading in most categories as it relates to first half statistics.
We were a little bit concerned about Tuskegee coming off that long bus ride, but so far they've responded.
Backpedaling, coming out of the end zone with the football on the return, it's Bosse. And Bosse now working at left side, but he has knocked down in his tracks near the 10-yard line. Closer to the 15 on that stop, though. Good surge by Tuskegee on special teams with the stop there.
And special teams led by Charles Davis Jr. of all people, who we mentioned in the pregame, who we mentioned in the second quarter as being one of the most vicious tacklers on this Tuskegee team.
And we mentioned him to start the third quarter. Tuskegee on defense.
You could get the replay of that lift and separate tackle by Charles Davis Jr., who just jogs away and says that's how it's done in his body language.
Yeah, he's doing a good job for Tuskegee right now with 4 solo tackles in this football game. Boney and the Marauders offense back out. He'll have the snap on the ground, gives it to running back Leach. Leach strung out toward the sideline, may have gotten a yard, not much more.
This is the point in the game where Tuskegee's defense has excelled. We've watched Tuskegee make adjustments in the second half, starting with the Grambling game, where their defense just seemed to make up its minds, we're not going to be scored on.
Yeah, they came close to giving up a score in that first half to the Marauders, but were able to backpedal them there and deny that score for them as we start the third, 14-0 for TU. Boney joined by a couple of backs this time as he sets in shotgun. On the ground and wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, just all over that play. Bossy trying to find some room left side, but he was bossed around by that TU defense.
TU led by Terrence Mays, who had a bit of a scuffle in the second quarter, but Mays with the penetration. He's the interior lineman with the speed for Tuskegee to make that tackle for loss.
Golden Tiger Sport Network live here from McPherson Stadium in Wilberforce, Ohio, on the campus of Central State University. 3rd down and 12 for the Marauders. Pressure at the corner by TU. Boney going to be dropped there near the 8-yard line. Just too much of a surge there. It's Terrence Mays, the name you just called, Mark, comes right back and makes the sack on Boney.
The thing about Mays, Charles, he weighs in at 295, but he moves like he's more like 225. Mays has lateral quickness that you don't see in a man that big.
Nice call on that. He can work his way around that interior. So the Marauders will have to punt the football away. Charay is set to do that from their end zone. Tuskegee, going to be coming at this one to try to block it. Beckford stands deep. Now they'll backpedal and try to get a return. Beckford slides to his left. He'll have a return here from the 47 up to the 30. Nice return there by Beckford down to the 26-yard line. You talk about a short field. This is exactly what you want coming out of the break.
Charles, you know I'm not one to start trouble, but I'd like to once again thank Pamela Bean and her representation, her backup, representing the Indianapolis Tuskegee National Alumni Association. So for all of the other alumni presidents that happen to be tuning in, the gauntlet has been thrown down.
Indeed. Got to take the challenge. Let us know you're out there. We'll get you on air. Just let us know. Represent your chapter. Going to be at Clark, Atlanta next weekend.
And then the big one on November 9th.
Indeed.
If you're going to be at homecoming, we only have one request. You have to bring us a plate.
Indeed. We'll let you in, but stay with us most of the game if you bring the plate. Just really trying to let you know just this is your network, and we're trying to promote as much about Tuskegee as we can. On the ground, wrapping up is Leverett looking for space, but not a whole lot coming to our side of the field. They have lost a couple of yards on that play.
Off the ball fake by Beal, Charles, I would imagine he's setting up something to the opposite side of the field. You can see him carrying out that passing motion in a fake attitude. Watch Beal come back to the left.
Good call on that. I want to add to that, too, the way that Leverett was handling that football, just kind of holding it like a loaf of bread, obviously protecting it, but just showing it also. There you go. Bregman toe taps at the sideline, caught it at the 17. Nice job there with the pass by Bill, very relaxed on that throw. And Bregman just tapping that sideline with both feet for the catch.
Excellent timing pass by Beal. Roy Berry for Tuskegee was down temporarily. He's 330. It took two players to get him back to his feet as he was laying prone on the field at about the 20-yard line.
3rd down and 1 for the Golden Tigers after they took it over on a short field on a return by Beckford. We're at 12:08 left in the third. Leverett joins Bill in the backfield. They go on the ground. Desmond pushing back left side. I think he's got enough for that Vibes Restaurant first down. Indeed, he does. They'll move the sticks as they put the football down at the 16-yard line.
Nothing fancy for the Golden Tigers, just trying to carve out some space over a left tackle to pick up that first down. Wouldn't be surprised to see Beal in this situation. He's had some success early in the season with that crossing route, shallow, perhaps 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, we saw him connect with Beckford last weekend for a touchdown pass at about this same spot on the football field. Exact same spot, actually. It's 16. Bill, ball fake, looks, floater, corner. Bregman reaches out one hand, can't pull it in. Had the defense beat. And Bill tried to float it to him, just led him too far into the end zone.
I was feeling slant. He threw a fade to the corner of the end zone. Pass was only off by a couple of yards. Watch Beal plant and throw to the corner just a bit outside.
I like your baseball reference. Nothing outside of that Freddie Freeman grand slam last night.
I was watching Freddie. He just stepped up and hit a grooved pitch.
Sure.
For a grand slam.
Batting practice on the ground. Beal, comeback route. This is Beckford with the football. Beckford, Quavo trying to get the corner flag coming in at the back of this play. Beckford caught it, got it down near the 10. We'll see what the flag's about.
A second flag is dropped right at about the 12-yard line. That is usually in a position where you get something like a face mask. See the replay of Beal making the completion. Player dragged down. Might have got a little bit of that face mask or the back of the jersey, just looking at the angle of where that flag was thrown. And having said all that, there is no foul.
Yeah, they were referencing or considering whether there was a hold on the play, and they waved that off.
Well, based on the timing of that, Charles, it seemed to come in too late for a hold, but you have a good point because that's usually on plays of that nature, a hold is called.
Third down from the 11 now for the Golden Tigers. Beal with the snap, looking upfield, end zone pass. No, right outside of there when that one goes incomplete. Having to come back for that football that time on his route was Kenneth K.J. Law, just at about the 1.
Law was open, as you caught, right inside the 5, planted. Ball was thrown outside. He actually had a play on it, but it would have been a tremendous catch to turn his body and make that reception.
I thought he was actually closer to that goal line in terms of where he was, and he had to come back for it outside of there and just not able to convert. This will be a 28-yard field goal attempt here by Ryan. Kick by Ryan. Boy, no question about his leg on that, and no question about the accuracy either. He is good. So is Tuskegee. They extend their lead to 17-0. 11-12 remains in the third, so the Golden Tigers strike on their first possession in the second half. Take a quick break here on the Golden Tiger Sports Network.
Broadcast coverage of Tuskegee Athletics on the Golden Tiger Sports Network is brought to you by Alabama Department of Public Health. Healthy people, healthy communities, healthy Alabama. Booster Digital Displays, dedicated to providing high-quality, affordable LED displays with exceptional service. TNT Fireworks, celebrating more than 100 years of America's #1.
Back live here at Central State University. Ryan, 28 yards away, extends the Golden Tiger lead to 17-0. Kick. Squibs on the ground and pass. Special teams for the Marauders in Central State, so they will start from the line of scrimmage. So Tuskegee now with a 17-0 lead. They had an 11-play, 54-yard drive in the first quarter to get their first score of the ball game. Then Raquan Bill got a pass to Ronaldo Spivey from 5 yards out, followed by the Ryans kick to make it 14-0. And Lorcan just hit from 28 yards out. Tuskegee with that 17-0 lead now, handing it back off to the defense. So Boney and the offense for the Marauders back out on the football field. He will line up in the backfield. One back there with him. Give it to Searcy. Our correction on that. That carry there is Leach. Leach works it up to the 30-yard line. Pick up a 5 on that play for Central State.
This is the point of the field, Charles, where Central State has to establish something on the ground. They've only had one big pass play this entire game. Down 17-0. This is the point you've got to put something on the board.
Couldn't agree with you more. as this ball game continues to unfold and the time running at 10:41 in the third.
Tuskegee ate up a nice chunk on that last drive. That's about a third of the quarter right there.
High snap on the ground, putting his head down and just lunging forward. Right side is Leach. Leach going to be about a yard, maybe 2 yards shy of the first down marker. So that'll bring up a third down quickly here for the Marauders of Central State.
Is the college huddle obsolete?
Almost, no question about it. Trips at the bottom of the screen for Boney. Yeah, this is how they're doing it now, what you see on the screen. It's glancing at the sideline and getting the play call from there. Boney backs up in the shotgun now. Third down and 3, flags and coming in there, and they move on the play. Wow.
Terrence Mays, the defensive lineman for Tuskegee, was not only making the penalty call, he was marching it back. He was 5 yards into the Central State backfield to where he's going to line up on this next possession.
So that'll push him back 5. And you just talked about the importance of them trying to really get in a sequence here to score the football. But they get the assessment and they go 5 yards in the opposite direction.
I love the body language of Mays, just animated to be a big man and that much into the game emotionally.
Yeah, starting to see these players really just get into this season as it unfolds. Boney with a snap. He's got plenty of time, floats it upfield, and man behind the coverage, catch made at the 45-yard line and stumbling near the 42. Grab made on the other end of the field by Brandon Brock, the senior from Norfolk, Virginia.
Now what's curious about that reception by Brock, that ball was thrown to the wrong shoulder. Brock makes a huge adjustment. Watch him turn in double coverage, back for the ball and make the catch.
They want to go quickly here. Pressure now and up the field. They got him man again behind the coverage, and this time inside the red zone down at the 5-yard line.
Boney suddenly has found a groove on 2 long completions.
That one completed to Tyrell Heath. And one of the reasons the completions are taking place is because that's Tenson Hill now, the junior at quarterback for the Marauders of Central State. He has come off the bench and completed 2 deep passes downfield for the Marauders, and they are exactly what you talked about, Mark, just inside the red zone with an opportunity to score, which is a must touchdown for them. Don't want to fall any further behind.
Well, let me be the first to make an apology to Mr. Hill, who comes in at 6'6", with 2 huge completions to get this Marauder offense untracked instantly.
Head coach Aaron James, after that play, got his time out, and he's over there talking to the officials on the far side of the field. After Hill comes in and makes a big play there for the Marauders at quarterback downfield.
Was quite a difference. Brock is 5'10", Hill at 6'6". Suddenly you have a difference in sight lines and surveying the field. He's doing a tremendous job of finding men open.
They are down at the 5-yard line with a 1st and goal to go from there. Tuskegee defense being asked to step up in this situation, see if they can keep him out of the end zone. Leach joins Hill in the backfield. They go on the ground. Leach just bangs his way through left side in there for the touchdown for Central State. So they get their first score of the ball game after a couple of long passes downfield.
Tyson Hill reminds me of that old joke about the centipede linebacker who came into the game after the second half, and they asked, where was the centipede in the first half? And he said, I was tying my shoes.
All 100 of them, right? Sherez now on to try the point after. Marauders got life. Kick by Sherez is on target. And with 8:54 remaining in the third, Tuskegee's lead cut to 17-7. Back with more after this timeout on the Golden Tiger Sports Network.
I'm Scott, a graduated senior animal science major hailing from Atlanta, Georgia, currently serving as the Executive SGA Elections Commissioner. As we celebrate homecoming, I want to take a moment to highlight an important event happening on November 5th, Voting Day. This year, our voices matter more than ever. Whether you're a first-time voter or someone who's voted before, let's make this homecoming memorable, not just by celebrating, but by standing up and making a difference. Vote on November 5th.
Marauders coming off the deck. They score a touchdown here in the third. Tuskegee leading at 17-7 now. Jerez set to kick it away. Back deep. It's McGee, and he'll get it on a line drive if he can field it. He'll squeeze it at the 8. Rodriguez up the middle now. Got a hold up the gut. Slides left side. McGee, one man to beat. Still on his feet now. Midfield for McGee. He'll work it left side. Down at the 30. Finally bounced out of bounds near the 27. And that's great field position for the Golden Tigers on the return.
If Tuskegee needed any response to that last drive led by Tyson Hill of Central State, it was that return.
Yeah. That's a big answer there by the Golden Tigers, and it comes on special teams. You talked about the 3 elements of the game. They have been huge so far in this contest.
McGee with a huge return for the Golden Tigers.
Have not seen him returning kicks or punts since the first ball game of the season. But he makes his return known here at McPherson Stadium. Bill, ball fake. Want to go straight up top here. Had it batted at the line of scrimmage. Had a couple of receivers en route left side, and he was ready to go that way.
The Central State coaches on the near sideline imploring their defense to not be casual, to decide whether that was an incomplete pass or a fumble. Pick it up and take it the other way. Let the referees sort it out.
Let them sort it out, no question. It was an incompletion. We're down to 8:23 left in the third. 17-7 lead for Tuskegee. Bill joined by Leverett in the backfield. Splits either side, Pregame and Beckford. On the ground, Leverett spins left side, trying to break free there. Leverett with a good effort there. Got ahead for a couple of more yards, but let's check a flag coming in from the secondary.
And multiple flags coming in. One coming near the run, one coming near the backfield. You see that second flag, Charles, at about the 20-yard line. That seems to be some shenanigans may have been happening, as you mentioned, in the defensive backfield.
They'll unsort it far side of the field.
I think you're going to get a hold for one of the Tuskegee blockers, one of the receivers trying to get a block downfield. Watch the end of this play. Watch that tango right to the left of your screen.
Yeah, it will go against the Marauders, and they called it against Jalen Striggles, a junior from Fort Lauderdale, and that football moves upfield close. It's inside of the red zone now, down at the 14-yard line.
We were dangerously close to another Vibes first down prospect, because this drive, a response to the last scoring drive at Central State, is very important for Tuskegee to not let this game get away in terms of momentum.
Trying to grab it right back here after Marauders scored. 1st and 10. That is a Vibes Restaurant first down on the assessment. Bill with the snap on the ground. Leverett wrapping up that football. Turns it back to the defense and falls ahead near the 6-yard line for Tuskegee.
Let's go ahead and label that intelligent technique. Knowing that you're inside the red zone, more important to protect the football, ball security, than anything else.
2nd down and about 4 after the pickup. They'll go with Leverett again. He'll slide right side. Leverett head down. Did he get across? No signal yet. Down at the half-yard line for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee.
If he didn't get in, he's only about a foot short. Leverett for the 2nd consecutive run, covering up and just going straight ahead, north-south, towards that end zone.
So it's first down, Vibes Restaurant down at the half-yard after the run by Desmond Leverett.
Great ground level view of the stutter step and that surge by Leverett.
Bill in shotgun. Snap. Leverett, left side, knocked in his tracks and pushed back about a yard. Surging defense there by the Marauders of Central State. Abraham Daniels, the former Tuskegee player, in on that stop for the Marauders.
Tremendous surge by Central State on what appeared to be an apparent touchdown.
Yeah, Daniels came in there and said, no, not this time.
thing about the Marauders, they had 3 players in the vicinity of the running back.
2nd and goal to go now. This time it'll be from the 3-yard line as Leverett was knocked back to. Reset for Tuskegee. Brigman, Beckford move to the right. Beal with the snap. They'll go Leverett left side. Leverett to the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Golden Tigers.
Leverett did an excellent job just picking his way to the corner of the end zone.
They sent both receivers, Beckford and Brigman, to the right. May have shifted that defense of the Marauders to give that space at the corner. And as you referenced, Leverett found the space and goes in for the 6th for the Golden Tigers.
Once he got beyond the attempted tackle of Travis Reese, he was home free, and Tuskegee did exactly what they needed to do on this drive.
Larkin Ryans does what he needs to do on the point after. He knocked it through for the Golden Tigers. To Tuskegee now with 6:33 remaining in the 3rd. They answer the touchdown by the Marauders and extend their lead now to 24-7.
The operative word that you just mentioned, Charles, is answer. That's the key to what Tuskegee needed to do coming off that sudden drive for Central State that seemed to flip the momentum of this game, but Tuskegee showing a certain type of toughness to say, okay, you throw a punch, we'll throw a punch right back at you.
Yeah, you referenced that early on in your comment. It's like a boxing match. They were just filling each other out early on. Now they're starting to dig some jabs into the gut here in this 3rd quarter of action. Tuskegee with the last delivery thrown there on that touchdown to lead at 24-7. Trying to quiet this crowd here at McPherson Stadium. They were really getting into it after that touchdown by the Marauders. And that's exactly what you want to do.
Excellent point. Once you have a team down, you don't want to give them any daylight.
Ryans to kick. We'll have a return here. This one by Cadet. Cadet, middle of the field, now looking to his right for space. Wrapped up, good open field tackle there by the Golden Tigers on special teams, and you know who that is. That's Mr. Grimes there, Rossi Grimes on that special teams play.
Rossi Grimes, the defensive back who doubles on special teams coverage. That's the 2nd excellent play he's had this afternoon. We'll sort out the penalty that was thrown at about the 15-yard line.
They were contemplating a block in the back, but they're going to wave that one off as well. And the Marauders will start this drive from their own 14-yard line. Good work there on special teams for the Golden Tigers. Can't wait to talk to Coach Aaron James on Monday night at Vibes Restaurant about the performance of the special teams in this ball game. Sure, he'll have some good things to say if it continues this way. Now on the ground, running the football. I believe that's Boney back in there. And Pack's just pushing his way near the 25-yard line, and after all that, Marauders are going to have a 1st down.
That was a moving scrum as the contact came at about the 15-yard line, and the pile just moved another 7 yards, enough for the 1st down.
But it was Hill in there still at quarterback to run it for the 1st down, or you give that to the entire offense for the Marauders. They all got in on that run. So the line of scrimmage now, the 25 for Central State. They are put into this answer mode now after Tuskegee score. We're at 5:40 left in the 3rd. Cadet in motion right side. Hill fires that way, coming back for the catch. Hopkins at the 31-yard line. That's good for about 6 for Central State.
Nothing fancy. Tyson Hill just throwing on a 3-step drop, very decisive on where he was going to deliver the football. You can see him looking to the sideline for the play calls, Charles. He's a junior, and it gives me the sense he's done this before.
Yeah. It's like they kind of held him to the 2nd half. Trips bottom of the screen now for Hill and the Marauders. We're down to 5:03 left in the 3rd. Davis at the corner squaring. Now they'll cut it back on the inside run with Hill handling it on the keeper.
When you look at a quarterback, Charles, there's some things that you can measure by statistics, completion percentage, but they're the things that are the unknowns. You can't measure swag. And Hill comes in with a certain amount of swag. You can see him just commanding this offense.
Good call on that. You're right. It's just a different demeanor altogether. 3rd down and 3 now for Central State. Hill, short drop, looks to his right, fires, got a man sitting there near midfield, but underthrown. Would have been good enough for a first down for them. But Hill, not enough push on that pass to get it downfield.
Now, one thing, swag is no substitute for accuracy.
Yeah, sure. You got to have the arm to go with the swag.
Had a man open. Ball just seemed to flutter as it was released out of his hand.
And not sure the wind seems to have died down a little bit, but he got that one airborne. That may have pushed it down as well.
The flag seems to be less active than it was in the first half, laying more limp now, but the gauge that we were looking at, the trousers of the referees are not blowing in the wind either as much.
Sure. Sherrod is now set to kick it away. Tuskegee coming at it. He got it away, tried to turn it over, not able to do it. Beckford's going to let that one bounce, and it'll hit at the 41 and be fielded there by the Marauders of Central State. So good field position for Tuskegee again to start the drive. This one will be from their own 40.
I was thankful to see Corey Martin of the Tuskegee punt return team, once that ball hit,
got out of the way.
Jog out of the way of the football. We saw some in the first half, 2 punts that were dangerously close to being hit by a Tuskegee return player.
So the Golden Tiger is going to come back on offense, and they'll start with that Wildcat set with Mulba. And looks like that's Spivey in there as well. Yeah, those are the two lined up in that Wildcat for TU.
Ball security.
4:13 left in the 3rd. Stith, motion, left side. Pitch out to Mulba. Nothing doing on that one. Spivey with the quick pitch to Zena, trying to work it left side, but that was covered by the Marauders.
If Central State's defense has any characteristic, is their pursuit. They not only get one player to the ball, they'll get multiple helmets to the point of attack. They're very quick, very agile.
Indeed. They disguise it with just the 3-man front, but they have people coming from all other positions once they know where that play, whether it's going to be a run or pass.
This may be the most athletic front we've seen all season.
That's what Coach James said as well in terms of playing this team. Bill in shotgun on the ground, trying to work it back, but nothing doing again. That athleticism of the Marauders just showing there. Got to that spot almost before Spivey did with the football.
As they did in the first half, Charles, in that last formation on defense, Central State only had 1 down lineman. They stacked the right side with 3 players up in a linebacker pose and just brought heat from that right side.
Lenore, their leading tackler, in on that stop of Spivey. So passing situation here for Bill and Tuskegee. 3rd and 10. We're down to 2:58 left in the 3rd.
Once again, Central State only 1 down lineman, 2 defensive ends exceptionally wide in this last formation.
Play clock to 2. Beal got it away. Beal steps up in the pocket, ranging right side, back to the middle of the field, into the hands of Spivey. Spivey with the catch, past midfield. Spivey, 1 man to beat, lost the football at the 45. They're going to rule it down, though. Line judge stepping in right away, ruling he was down, and he was down. That's when it came out after he hit the turf here inside of McPherson Stadium.
Give credit to Spivey on the footwork. Watch the move that he makes after the catch. Plants right here, takes contact, picks up additional yardage.
Yeah, right at the end of that play, watch him just shove the one tackler off. Right here, you see him just push that defender off and got a couple more yards as a result.
Spivey's spat it up. If he doesn't slip on that play, he picks up another 5
Indeed.
yards.
Yeah.
And when I say spat it up, players like to tape over their shoes as opposed to taping their ankles underneath. It looks good, but sometimes it affects your traction.
Sure, good call on that. The football is loose on the other end of the field. Trying to get that one off. And before play resumes, Vibes Restaurant, first down on the run by Spivey, or the pass reception by Spivey. That was big for the Golden Tigers. We're at 2:06 left in the 3rd. Bill slides either side. He'll take the snap. On the ground, second wave of the defense spinning as the Marauders try to rip that football out of there. This is Moba on the carry for Tuskegee, and Zena runs it for about 6 on that play.
I'll give one credit to Central State. You get your entertainment dollars worth. They have no fewer than 3 dance teams on the near sideline.
Yeah. On the ground again. Moba spins ahead, tripped up near the 30. That's another Vibes Restaurant first down.
Tuskegee doing exactly what they need to do. Ball possession, pick up these first downs on the ground, keep the clock running.
Football right now at the 32-yard line. Fresh set of downs. 1:20 left in the third. Bill, he'll take the snap. Quick throw out in the flats. That one's partially blocked at the line. Stith was waiting on the other end, never got to him.
Credit the pressure of defensive lineman Mike White for Central State. Had penetration, got his hands up, and forced that pass by Beal to just be a little bit inaccurate.
2nd and 10, 67 seconds left in the third. Mulba joins Bill in the backfield. 3 receivers at the bottom of the screen. Now Tuskegee will take a moment. Trying to burn clock here. Or to play clock down to 5 with 1:07 left. Now down to 2. They got it away. Bill in the pocket, surveys, fires, crossing route there. Stith not able to pull it in.
Perfect pass by Beal. Stith turned. Ball was about face mask high as he's running that slant at the 15-yard line. A simple drop pass.
No doubt about it. En route, good pass from Bill. Right now, 7 of 16 in the ball game. Had that 1 interception.
Might have been peeking at J.J. Tucker for Central State, who was closing in on him.
Third down play here now for the Golden Tigers. 62 seconds left in the third.
JJ, I don't know if it makes a difference that much.
Bill, see, he's rolling left side, caught by the jersey, and he's going to be sacked back at the 43. Trying to break free left side, not able to do it.
The pursuit once again by Central State. That time led by Romello Capit, linebacker on the far side of the field. There were 3 players in on Beal.
Boy, that hurt Tuskegee there. A chance to score before the end of the third expires, but now instead they're punting the football away. So a big sack there by that Central State defense. Ryan with the kick, not able to turn it over completely, but it will take a forward roll.
He was fortunate to get that one away because Central State was bringing pressure.
Got it inside the 20. It'll be down near the 16-yard line. That's where Central State takes over, and they're happy just to take the football over without giving up more space on the scoreboard.
Jimmy Dunford, special teams player for Central State, came very close to blocking that last punt. As it stands, Tuskegee's defense will set up shop right at about the 20-yard line. Let's say the 15.
Just 5 seconds left. They'll get this play off before the third quarter expires. As Tyson Hill's back in there calling the signals. He'll start with 3 receivers to the top. On the ground, they're trying to run it at the corner into the hands of Bossy, and Bossy steps out of bounds. And that'll be the end of the third quarter. He tried to get out of bounds and thought he may have before the game clock expired for the end of the third. Did not, so we will head into the third with the Golden Tigers leading at 24-7 over the Marauders of Central State. More football just ahead on the Golden Tigers Sports Network.
I am Mark Christopher, 66 Executive SGA President here at Tuskegee University. Stop what you're doing. Go to your phone, go to your computer, or go to the nearest monitor located near you and look up your voter registration status. And if you are registered to vote, then you must head to the polls on November 5th, 2024 to cast your vote for this primary election. And bring one, for we must be the change that we desire to see. In order to do that, we must have community. So again, on November 5th, 2024, we vote. TU.
Hello, Tuskegee fans. I'm Lawrence Tony Haygood, Mayor of the historic city of Tuskegee, Alabama, and this is Golden Tiger Sports Network.
Back live at McPherson Stadium, getting set to start the fourth quarter. Tuskegee with a 24-7 lead. Trying to see if they can make it 5 in a row, if they can hang on here against the Marauders of Central State. Central State from their own 18-yard line. 2nd down and 8. Movement up front, and here comes a flag. Likely the Marauders jumping, and it is procedure against Central State.
It's always the little things. Central State, every time it seems to get in a groove, it's a penalty, a pre-snap penalty that gets them in trouble.
Marauders there pick up their 6th penalty of the ball game, and that'll push them back 5.
Tuskegee's defense, Charles, as we've seen all season long, very strong in the second half.
Hill set now. He'll take a short drop, looking upfield now, slides to his right, flinks it out in the flats, got a man there on the turn, catch made, and tripped up down the field is Tyler Russell, the sophomore, after a good run with the catch at the corner.
Although he's 6'6", speaking of release angles, Tyson Hill on that last pass, his release angle was about at 3 o'clock.
Sure.
Just sidearmed it very accurately to his receiver, breaking open.
They get back to the sideline looking for the play. They want to kind of go hurry up here. They got to do the opposite of Tuskegee as we start the fourth. Charles Ward, Mark Lassiter, and the entire Golden Tiger Sports Network production crew here at Central State University. On the ground now. Sliding second wave of the defense on the turn is Bossy on the carry, and Bossy runs it up to the 41-yard line. So they pick up a first down on that run.
First shot at Bossy was Corey Wright, defensive end for Tuskegee, who was cut off with a serious block at the point of attack. A first down for Central State. Keeps this drive.
Sorry about that, Mark.
No problem.
From the 41. Hill with the snap, looking to his left, now slides to his right, tried to fling it again, lost the football, trying to scramble for it, he'll knock it out of bounds. It'll stay with the Marauders. Tried to do that same thing you just referenced on the previous play, a little sidearm action coming to his right. But good surge by the Golden Tigers. Took him off stride, and that'll back him up to the 32.
Hill was thinking run and pass at the same time and got caught in between.
Yeah.
Fortunately, he fumbled it out of bounds.
Yeah, he was scrambling, trying to get to it, and locked it in on his hip. Quick snap. He'll slide it back to the inside. Bounced off of one tackler there. Working it on the inside is Bossy. Bossy back to the 41-yard line. Picked up everything they just lost on the previous play.
Interesting that Jaden Bossy, 5'10" running back, has this ability to just break tackles. Player down for Tuskegee at about the 40-yard line. Both units are going to go to the sideline as the medical staff comes to attend.
Marcus Jeter and his team. Coach James quickly out there as well to check on the player. We'll try to identify that number when we are able to. Right at about the 38. 13:08 left in the third, or in the football game overall. Tuskegee trying to come away with a win to stay in the hunt for those 2 spots for that SIAC title game at the end of the year. Right now, Tuskegee, Fort Valley, and Albany State at 4-1 in SIAC play. Miles College undefeated in conference play at 5-0, but all that is still within striking distance with those 4 teams. Coming up there at the end of that play for the Golden Tigers is Anthony Scott, the senior linebacker.
So you're mentioning Miles is not a plug for the homecoming game on November 9th, is it?
Would I ever do that? But by the way, we do have them for homecoming at Tuskegee.
And it's quite a rivalry, not just on the field, but Miles wants to claim that they have a tailgate that rivals Tuskegee.
Sure. We know everybody out there that's listening on GTSN will be there on homecoming to prove that ultimately false. Hill in shotgun, 3rd down and 10. And don't forget, we've got something very special for you on homecoming on GTSN. I guarantee you'll never have seen any programming like this. Hill with the snap, upfield now. Floats one there, but he threw it out of bounds. Cutting off his route on the inside was Brock, and Hill threw it toward the sideline.
Brock was working open right at about the 30-yard line. The throw seemed to be in a dangerous territory because Tuskegee had 3 defenders in the neighborhood. As it stands, Central State will have to punt.
Scherer set on to come on to do that. Beckford will stand on the other end while they set the punt of the way. Press conference on the campus of Tuskegee on Thursday, announcing that the basketball team was going to be invited to play on NBA All-Star Weekend in the HBCU game on that Friday night against the Maroon Tigers of Morehouse College. As Scherer has got a high punt as Beckford calls for the fair catch. Beckford has the dance in the wind a little bit, but able to squeeze it near the 17-yard line. Reminded of that because during halftime, went upstairs to the press room, and who comes out of the press room? President Mark Brown. He and the First Lady up here in Wilberforce, Ohio, following the Golden Tigers. And if you wanted to see something special, just him and the level of excitement that he had at that press conference. It was a pep rally press conference on Thursday inside Chappie James, and he was just elated about Tuskegee being invited to that special weekend with the NBA, and just really rode the bandwagon of the thought of, hey, you made the choice to come to Tuskegee. These are the type of things you get to benefit from by your choice of being a part of Tuskegee.
Having a president with an affinity for football and athletics is a beautiful thing.
Indeed it is. On the ground, the Golden Tigers will keep it, trying to burn some clock there. Spinning forward near the 17-yard line was Zena Mulba on that carry for the Golden Tigers.
Don't watch the football. Watch the time between plays that Tuskegee burns clock as they look to the sideline to the coaches for the play calls. You won't see Tuskegee huddle. They'll just wait until the play clock runs down as much as possible before their next snap.
Right now it's at 15. This is Stith in motion. High snap. They'll keep it on the ground. The Mulba. Zena pushing forward the right side. Falls ahead near the 25, perhaps the 26. A couple of yards shy of that Five's Restaurant first down, though. So that'll make it 3rd down.
Offensive linemen labor in obscurity, but I give credit to Jordan Foy, the offensive lineman for Tuskegee. He's a freshman playing at guard who's really effective inside.
3rd down here for the Golden Tigers. Bill with the snap on the ground. Mulba slides to the outside. Zener got the space. Got the Vibes Restaurant first down up to the 35-yard line.
And running behind that big offensive line, they gave him just enough space to cut it back and pick up the first.
So to the 35 with 11:02 left in the football game now. Bill wants to go in a hurry. The officials are not quite ready to let him go yet.
The officials appeared to be allowing the Central State runner to the sideline. Bill at the line of scrimmage saying, I'm ready. Why aren't you all ready?
Sure. Yeah. Let them fend on their own if they don't have him off the field.
Surprising to see Tuskegee going a bit hurry up on that last huddle, non-huddle, getting back to the line of scrimmage quickly and ready to run another play.
Also surprised that they're letting the invincible marching Marauders play while Tuskegee has the football.
Well, you know, when you're on the road,
you take it as it comes.
You're subject to any kind of distraction that the home team can manufacture.
No doubt. Bill and the Golden Tigers ready with 1st and 10. High snap, but Zena on the handoff, wrapping up that football. Spins past the 40, up to the 41, perhaps the 42 on the carry left side.
Zena got his pads exceptionally low as he took that handoff. Watch his pad level as he gets past the line of scrimmage and continues the surge forward.
And Zena really been out of action mostly since that first ball game of the season where he suffered a concussion. Got to play last weekend and really putting a stronger footprint on this ball game in that run game, particularly with Morris out of the lineup and Sellers. Ball faked by Bill in the pocket, backpedals, has to ground it right side. Thought he may be actually setting up a screen that time, because we have not seen that all game long given that heavy pressure by the Marauders. Still think they're perfectly set up to be a victim of a screen.
He also had Brigman flashing deep downfield. Brigman was open at about the 20-yard line, but by the time Beal could spot him, he was under heavy pressure.
So he has to ground that one. That'll make it 3rd down and about 3.5 for the Golden Tigers. We're at 10-10 left in the ball game. Shotgun for Bill. Marauder stacking that front line. They're trying to come, but on the ground, Zena has it. Zena pushes forward, falls ahead close to that first down marker. They're going to put him down at the 45. And what does that mean? Vibes Restaurant first down is what it means.
Give credit to Beal handling another awkward snap from center in the shotgun formation. He's able to improvise, make the catch, and a handoff in an accurate position. Now that's a lot more difficult than it appears on the screen.
Beal, Mulba able to run it for the first down, but meanwhile we've got a Marauder down at the 38-yard line, and he gets medical attention now with 9:58 left. But just want an opportunity to finish up with that press conference on Thursday and pep rally. Athletics Director Reginald Ruffin there coordinating the whole thing. We had representatives from government there from Tuskegee on hand, and almost all of the sponsors for the Golden Tiger Sports Network and the athletics department there on hand as well. And of course we were there streaming it live for the university. It was just a real good representation of how this whole notion about Tuskegee is one as a community and really starting to blossom. It's a great thing to see.
It's also a sign of some intelligent negotiations for Tuskegee to wind up in a game played during NBA All-Star Weekend. That's huge.
That's absolutely huge. You're right. Had the commissioner of the SIAC on hand as well. Everybody recognizing the value of that to not only both schools but to the conference as well. On the ground, Zena puts the head down, turns over one would-be tackler, back the other way, falls ahead for about 2 on that carry.
Zena was probing, putting his hand out on the back of his offensive lineman, Roy Berry, that time, coming to the near sideline. Nothing fancy, just trying to always moving forward, maintain possession, run clock.
Also, head coach Benchy Taylor, cannot forget him at the press conference, and the team being introduced to the fans there at the press conference as well. It was just a phenomenal thing to see. If you want to take another look at it, it's archived on TU Athletics, and you can take a look at that press conference in its entirety. 2nd down and 8 after the carry by Mulba. We go inside of almost at 9:01 left now on a reverse. This is Beckford looking for a block upfield. He got one. Second wave by Beckford at the 30. One man to beat. Forget about it. Beckford, touchdown, Tuskegee.
Once Beckford found the slot, that seam at the 40-yard line, he put his arm out as if to say, bye-bye, baby. And Tuskegee winds up with another 6.
On the reverse, Beckford pointing for a block, got one, and the Jets just came on. Watch him just scoot through those tacklers there, and the foot race, you can't even cut the angle there on Beckford. Phenomenal run.
Put that head back for just about 5 yards. That's when you know he's going at full speed.
Got 2 touchdowns last weekend, notches another one here. Ryan, this was batted at and blocked at the line, and they block it there on the point after attempt. He had gone 8 for 8 on PATs until that one. It blocked at the line by the Marauders.
Let's rewind and give credit, though, to the Tuskegee offense running a play that they had to have to really seal this game.
Yep, no question. And that was a long run there by Beckford and great blocking downfield. So Tuskegee, 8:50 remains, notches another one, 30-7 after the touchdown. So Larkin and special teams will come on now to punt it away, to kick it away. And that one, not necessarily putting it out of reach for the Marauders, but as you referenced, Mark, it's a big one for Tuskegee.
With less than 9 minutes to go, what I compare is the body language on both sidelines, Charles. Right below us, the Central State sideline, you can feel the dejection coming off that last score. On the far sideline, everyone on the Tuskegee sideline is standing.
Beckford on the 53-yard touchdown run. And the Marauders coming back the other way now, working toward the sideline as Bossy now spins back to the inside. Finally caught up there by Tuskegee. And they'll bring him down somewhere near the 37, 38-yard line. Players trying to tie it up a little bit there after the return. So Tuskegee extending their lead to 30-7.
Just a bit of frustration on the part of Central State having been scored on, and perhaps a little bit of get back from Tuskegee, not looking forward to this long bus ride home, which should involve a celebration, but still 10 hours is 10 hours.
No doubt about it. But a win makes it a little easier, no question. 8:40 left. Hill, delayed handoff, gets it into the hands of Leach. Leach fights ahead left side and got past the sticks for a first down for the Marauders on a delayed handoff left side.
Central State now going hurry up.
To the rhythm of their marching band. Football at the 46, making it the 47-yard line. Now play stops momentarily.
The band is alternately trying to adjust their volume as Central State gets to the line of scrimmage, allowing them to hopefully hear the snap count. But once the play is in motion, the band cranks it up once again. They continue with the same tune no matter what is going on.
Sure. It's Military Appreciation Day here and Breast Cancer Awareness Month celebration here at Central State. Fake by Hill. Now he'll try to keep it himself and just runs into a wall right there as he tried to turn it upfield.
Hill had thoughts of coming to the near sideline to Bossy, who was at about the 45-yard line, thought better of it, but Tuskegee had excellent pursuit to the left side of the defense and just shut that down.
So that'll bring up third, and actually a loss of 1 on that play last, so it's 3rd and 11 now. Or correction, 3rd and 1 now for the Marauders of Central State. Movement up front, they'll get a free play on this one. No, they'll stop it there. But jumping across the line of scrimmage, DeAndre Chapman, the sophomore from Albany, Georgia. Chapman trying to go a little bit early there and gave up the first down to the Marauders via that penalty.
And that's one of the plays, Charles, that drives coaches crazy, because for a defensive end to jump, he has sight of the ball. All he has to do is keep his head turned, watch the center. Just got a little bit impatient and jumped off sides, giving Central State this first down.
And pushing the football into TU territory to the 48.
You've watched those drills that coaches have where the football's on the stick and they're practicing snap count. He's going to have some extra reps this week.
Hill in the pocket, floats one up top, got men behind the coverage, coming back for the football, and a flag coming in there near the 13-yard line, and a second one coming in after that as well. Brandon Brock was trying to get to that football, trying to come back upfield on a ball that was underthrown, and the Tuskegee defense preventing him from coming back.
Excellent call. That's one of those momentum flags, because as the receiver was coming back for the ball, Tuskegee's, I should say, momentum was more than the receiver trying to come back. They get penalized. Fortunately, in college football, it's only a 10-yard penalty.
Rossi Grimes there in on that play, trying to prevent, because he was beaten by Brock downfield. But the assessment will go to against Tuskegee. That's back-to-back penalties against the Golden Tigers.
Did I say 10 or is that 15?
I think you're right. I think it was 10. On a throwback left side now. Catch made there and grabbed from behind. Catch was made by Hopkins. A correction on that. That catch was made by Tyler Russell.
Watch how fast that Central State's trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, trying to run this next play. But unfortunately for them, the play calls from the sideline are coming in very slowly.
Yeah, we're under 7 minutes remaining now. Tuskegee with the 37 lead. On the ground, they go with the football. Leach, middle of the gut. Leach inside the red zone, all the way down inside the 10 for the Marauders of Central State.
Nothing fancy, just running straight over center for Central State. Running behind big Jalen Struggles, 6'3" junior.
Rolling, it's a Hill. He'll run it this time, left side. Hill slides back to the inside, and they'll get him out down at the 1 yard line. Not sure if it's because on the couple of previous plays, Tuskegee wasn't thinking more pass versus run, given the time in the game. But the Marauders have been successful on the ground. This time lunging forward, and football was loose. They not sure if he was down. Tuskegee picked up the football.
Charles, more than anything else, I think it's the tempo that Central State's playing with, and Tuskegee's defense is simply not getting set soon enough.
That time, Hill trying to dive to get across the plane, and he lost the football doing it, but I think they ruled that his knee was down before he lost the football. That was close.
Nice look at mutual hands to the face on the near sideline with the low-angle camera work by our crew.
So they come to the line of scrimmage now, 2nd and goal to go. Lining up tight this time. Hill trying to lunge over the end zone line, and he got it over. Big frame got it over right side at 6'6". Able to break that plane, and the Marauders answer with a touchdown with 5:21 left in the football game.
Player down for Central State at the end of that play, but that's a rare touchdown giveaway by Tuskegee, something we haven't seen in the last 4 weeks.
Couple of penalties by the Golden Tigers enabled the Marauders to get down where they were, but you can't take anything away from them. They were successful on the ground as well with a couple of big runs to take their fate into their own hands, and they come away with the 6. Shiraz now to attempt a point after.
It's got to be frustrating for a team like Central State that is so athletic to come away and look at game film of a game like this and know that they are so close with an elite team like Tuskegee.
Shiraz is good on the point after, and they make it 30-14 ball game with 5:21. But I hear your point loud and clear, Mark, that when they look at those films, they're thinking if we could just correct this, correct that, we could be just like the way these other teams are.
Give credit to Central State's defense for being probably the most athletic unit we've seen so far, and that includes Grambling State College, Grambling State University.
Absolutely, would not exclude them in that equation as well. Coach James talked about it from having looked at the film, and on Monday night, that's what he was worried about, was that this team was so quick, so athletic, and they did a lot of different looks that makes it difficult to kind of contain them. So, 5:21 left. Tuskegee trying to march to that 5th consecutive win.
While the Central State band cranks up "Can You Stand the Rain?" I know it's one of your all-time favorites.
No doubt. Absolutely. I play that all the time. Even when it's raining. Shiraz now to kick it. It'll be the dude trio for Tuskegee that we had not seen very much the last few ball games. Mason Hill, Devin Cooper back there, and McGee. McGee with a good return in this football game. They'll watch this one sail over his head, and Tuskegee back out on the football field offensively to handle that football. 30-14. See if we can't get some word, some of these other ball games that are really of significance in the SIAC this weekend. With Fort Valley at Morehouse College and Miles at Benedict, those are the only other two that are part of that set of 4 teams that are still really kind of in contention for number 1 and number 2.
One thing is certain, though, Charles. The campus around Morehouse College today is jam-packed.
Sure, no doubt about it. I was up there early part of the week, and they were already setting up pavilions, and you could hardly walk across the campus because they were just putting everything up in place. Shouldn't forget also that Albany is in play this weekend as well. They're playing Edward Waters, so all these teams in contention might see some things shake up after this weekend. On the ground, Leverett, second wave of that Marauders defense, works it past the 35 up to the 36-yard line. And oh yeah, another Vibes Restaurant first down as a result.
Nothing fancy for Leverett, just puts his head down, goes straight ahead, picks up first.
Tuskegee trying to do clock management and push the football upfield in the same breath. And just like that, we've got Malik Davis, the grad student quarterback, handling the signals now for Tuskegee. And you talked to some of the coaches before the ball game about how they have just kind of reassessed Davis and just feel like he is really someone that they can start to really rely on. Leverett slips a bit there after he follows the offensive line on the left side, but fell ahead for 3 yards on that carry.
Talking to the coaches during pregame, Charles, it's interesting how they noted the unusual depth that this team has at quarterback and at running back. You mentioned at the top, there are 2 players missing from Tuskegee's running back core. What do? Elevate 2 others.
Sure.
They still have 4 viable options at running back, even with 2 players unavailable.
Yeah, really endorsing that next man up type mentality. But sometimes you're just forced to do a next man up and not really confident about who's coming up next. But they are confident about the next man up on their roster. On the ground, second wave of the defense. This time, the carry by Mason Hall. And Hall able to sprint ahead for about 8 yards.
Just when you mentioned the depth of the Tuskegee running backs, you have to search for number 36. Sure. That's not a number we've called a lot this season.
Yeah, that's for sure. Hall with that carry.
And there could be a reason for that. I'm noticing that bracelet Hall is wearing on his right knee.
Yeah, you're right. It could be that in terms of just an injured player that may be just getting back to playing form.
All of the Tuskegee running backs have the same stature, too. I don't think we have a back over 5'10".
No, you just got to try to look at the leg definition to determine who's out there. And this time on definition left side, Hall slides out of bounds after another Vibes Restaurant first down.
Now, I'm not one to ask for replays, but if we get a replay on this play, watch the balance shown by Hall after he gets contact.
Ask and you shall receive.
Run after contact. Watch this. Boom. Escapes that first tackle, but that first tackle, he should have gone down.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
A second look at it, and he weaves his way for an additional 7 yards.
Yeah, just kind of sliding toward the sideline. You actually got 2 looks at that replay, man. Come on.
I'm trying to keep up.
It's hard with these Burnett's. You can't keep up with them.
Can't trust them.
Run there on that first down play. And not much there on that one for Hall. We're down to 2:09, getting ready to come to the break here at the end of this football game at the 2-minute mark.
And speaking of our production crew, I'd like to just personally thank the people that have let us know that they appreciate the picture quality, the image quality that has been provided on these broadcasts. We are just at the beginning, but I can tell you that when I see my college roommate from Howard University watching this game on a big screen in his rec room, and he sends me a shot of it, that's when you know you're working with quality.
Indeed, no question about it. I was there at the press conference on Thursday, and then former president of the Alumni Association, Lily Lanier, called me. We were walking out to the cars after the game, and she said, "Charles, everybody that was watching it said it's just so clear. It's just so clear."
Well, it's one thing to watch it on an iPad or a laptop. It's quite another to throw an image up on a big screen and it holds up.
Indeed.
And that was the thing that caught me by surprise as well. And so, you know, when you hear from a alumnus of another university, we're not even talking about somebody that went to Tuskegee, commenting about a broadcast by another HBCU squad. That's a wonderful thing.
Listen, that's our sincere effort to try to do the absolute best we can in terms of providing you quality coverage of these games, production-wise, and that's only befitting to follow that Tuskegee brand all over. And just special thanks to President Brown, Dr. Rice, and to especially A.D. Reginald Ruffin for just making this whole Golden Tiger Sports Network a reality, and then being able to really fully cover our student athletes as much as we can. We're covering football now. We'll be doing the same thing with basketball, spring sports as well. GTSN is a part of the fabric of Tuskegee University.
Funny thing is, my roommate lives in Winston-Salem, and he follows the ACC. He was watching an ACC game next to ours. I want to say which game looked better.
Well, I saw that he put it into proper perspective, had that one on his laptop, and the big show was the game here with Tuskegee. So. Run right side for the Golden Tigers. Let's get that clock moving here with less than 2 minutes remaining. Quick reminder, we're at Clark Atlanta next weekend. And that could be a pivotal game. Clark Atlanta idle this weekend, but they are a part of that group of teams that could be in that 1 and 2 spot at the end of the season. They're just outside the bubble with a 4-2 conference mark. But when Tuskegee comes to town next weekend, they want to make sure that Clark Atlanta comes out of that 4-3.
You better bring your color correction lenses, because Clark Atlanta has a red. Yes, I said it. They have a red AstroTurf field.
I know you're a graphics guy, and that's your specialty. And you've just been harping on that thing for the longest. Like, I just don't see red. Right?
Well, the thing is, red is a color. It's an accent color. It is not. It's a color you should use sparingly. So to have an all-red field, especially coming with the crimson and gold color scheme that Tuskegee will travel with, there could be some definition issues.
Good call on that. I'm curious at what Clark Atlanta actually wears. I'm sure they don't wear red on red. That could be just visually disastrous.
That reminds me of the living room lounge.
Sure. Davis on the ground, left side, scooting ahead. Hall spins back to the interior.
For those of you not aware, the living room lounge in Atlanta, they have red wallpaper.
Sure.
That felt paper.
Old school.
There's a lot of red. It's old school.
Yeah. Have an injured Marauder down at the 38-yard line with 1:29 left.
But the most important thing is we'll be there.
Yeah. Red or no, right? We'll have that coverage for you on the Golden Tiger Sports Network. Things probably by that time we'll know better where things stood with some of these teams this weekend and how things are faring as this season's coming rapidly to a close.
So let me get your idea. What is your sense of where Tuskegee's playing personality is coming off, starting the season 0-3, on the brink of winning its fifth consecutive game? What is Tuskegee's football team feeling like to you now?
Oh, I think they are riding high. And that's what I sense and feel from them. Just, talking to Coach James and the coaches show on Monday night and just witnessing how they even approached this ball game this afternoon is a good test of that. They were out early warming up, knowing what these conditions were. They wanted to start out as pristine and formed as they could to start this ball game. And that's not an indication of a team that's not confident about where they are. They would just go through the motions. But this team recognized a long bus ride, and we got to get in here. We got to take care of business because they know what's on the line in terms of where they started and where they are now.
Tuskegee did something very unusual for those of you just tuning in or who missed the first half. They warmed up 2 hours before this ball game in full uniform, something we haven't seen so far this season. They got a full stretch in for about a half hour, went back to the locker room, came back an hour and a half before kickoff for their normal warm-up.
Yeah, we left with them on the entourage with the escort over to the stadium. I was like, man, we're leaving early, aren't we? So I see why, right?
I'm glad I had my alarm clock on.
Yeah, same here. So Malik Davis in at quarterback. He's trying to clean this one up with 1:29 remaining.
I was wondering why the buses were leaving so early.
Yeah, so was I. I thought it was really early to leave. But no problems on the interstate. They got the escort. Alabama Patrol just in front of us got us here with no problems. And of course here at Central State University, always so hospitable in terms of guests coming here. We were able to just pull in right there at the side of the stadium. Nobody questioned about who you are, why are you parking here, anything like that.
Well, it's a great setting. This is my first time on the Central State campus, and I must say that I'm very impressed with the physical plant. It's always a wonderful thing to see a HBCU campus in great shape.
Indeed. And these two schools, we talk about Central State, just around the block is Wilberforce University as well. And those two schools, some of the, Wilberforce certainly one of the oldest HBCUs in the country. And Central State, they enjoy a good relationship and enjoy a close connection geographic-wise as well. Ryans to punt. He'll kick it away, trying to get it inside that 20, and it'll be fair caught there near the 11-yard line. Yeah, beautiful campus here. Certainly thanking Kavisha Brown again, the athletics director, for allowing us. We would have been here with just audio only, but we're here with a full production crew with a full video package and audio package here to cover this football game.
Great to see that kind of flexibility, because this game was not originally on our schedule. And sometimes you run into situations where people are not as willing to adapt to change at the last minute. And credit, as you mentioned, to the people at Central State to saying, okay, we'll adapt. We'll let you come in with your camera crew.
Hey, I was there on the call when Kavisha and A.D. Ruffin were talking about it, and he was asking her. He said, I got something to ask you. And there, another incomplete pass. And she said, well, go ahead. He said, it may be kind of difficult, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Do you mind if we come up with our entire video crew? She's like, oh, I thought you were going to ask me something hard. Right? It's like, sure you can, right? Right now, in a minute 17 left, Golden Tigers on their way to a 5-3 mark overall, and more importantly, 5-1 in the SIAC.
Which is a long way from 0-3.
Oh, no doubt. Yes, sir. And our good friend, head coach Kevin Porter, he's in his first year at Central State, still trying to put his footprint on this program, as he's done almost everywhere he's gone. As a floater out there in the flats now, catch made at the corner by Bossy. Bossy slides back to the inside. Good nifty run by him. Got it up to about the 26.
Noah Holton of Tuskegee thought he had Bossy sized up, but Bossy had other ideas. Watch the move, the head fake, and then the plant. The cutback to the inside.
Yeah, tough move there by Bossy.
That head fake will always get you.
Boy, you know that one. That may be on the film rack for Monday as well. Upfield coming back for the football. Catch made there by Tyrell Heath, the senior. Heath, one of their primary targets, but he's been quieted most of this football game. Only his second grab of the contest.
Excellent angle on that last delivery, right into your living room.
Out in the flats this time, Bossy took his eyes off of it. With 34 seconds left. Marauders of Central State, they face Allen next weekend. And then they'll finish their regular season with Kentucky State. So a chance for the Marauders to pick up a couple of wins as the season comes to a close. Right now at 1-5 and winless. Or 1-4 in the SIAC.
Bossy caught a glimpse of Noah Holton, who's 6'3", 190, bearing down on him. And instead of putting that ball away, his eyes were off the target.
Yeah, on Noah. Right side, catch made at the corner by Brock. Brock steps out of bounds on the Tuskegee end of the floor at field at the 45. 27 seconds left now. Catch us at the Aaron James Coaches Show on Monday from Vibes Restaurant, talking about this ball game in terms of review, and get Coach James's thoughts about the performance of the Golden Tigers in all three phases of the ball game. Same play, Brock, same result. Catches this time, steps out near the 30-yard line.
One thing is certain, it's a lot easier to do that Coaches Show after a win than it is after a loss.
Yeah, we just got to get that community of Tuskegee to start coming out and supporting what has been a real strong effort by Willie Streeter and Vibes Restaurant, because they are normally not even open on a Monday, but he opened up his restaurant just for the show and just to show his support for this program. And sacked there near the 40-yard line, trying to get something upfield. This time Hill is pulled down by that Golden Tigers front four. It's like Central State may have taken a timeout with 17 seconds left. And you know they're trying to build a confidence thing here as it relates to this final little drive of the ball game. See if they can't come away with another score, just to give this team a level of accomplishment in this ball game.
With 17 seconds remaining, I would be shocked if they scored on this Tuskegee defense, even a Tuskegee defense running substitutes at this point in the ball game. This is a squad that plays with a lot of pride.
Nice point on that. And you know, in addition to that, they're all going to be playing prevent anyway, you know.
I keep going back to that Grambling State game, Charles. Tuskegee, in that second half, playing its reserved, played Grambling State of the SWAC dead even.
No question about it. That's when that little spurt started about no team scoring on them in the second half of play. So Hill now. He'll take the drop. Passes it out in the flats there. Catch made at the corner by Bossy. Bossy sliding out of bounds this on the Tuskegee side of the football field, and 9.5 seconds left.
Talk about technique. Noah Holton was in pursuit, but as he was nearing the ball carrier, you could see him break down into perfect form, get low in order to make that tackle.
Nice call. Hill, likely one of the last plays of the ball game, floats it to the back of the end zone, and that one goes incomplete. Tuskegee with a couple of players back there with a chance to pull that one in. Marcus Hawthorne, a junior back there, closest to that football, close to an interception.
That was just the type of pass that you launch into the end zone and pray that one of your own receivers is in the neighborhood.
Sure. I didn't see one in the neighborhood on that one.
That's one of those throws that the quarterback just closes his eyes and picks a spot and just launches it.
Sure. Somebody, if you get there, you're there, right? 1.3 seconds left, so final play of the ball game coming here, barring a penalty. And Hill's going to have receivers slots either side. And he'll take the snap. Steps up. Tuskegee chasing now. Backside pressure. They got a hand on him. They threw it right to the middle of the end zone. Batted around, and Tuskegee comes away with an interception. At the end of the ball game, it looks like that's Michael King that's going to come away with that pick for Tuskegee in the end zone. So King comes away with the pick, and he'll pad his stats with that. As Michael King on the season for Tuskegee, that's his second interception to close this ball game out. Tuskegee wins it 30-14 over the Marauders of Central State University. And Tuskegee taking it to 5-0. You were asking at the beginning, saying, I got 5 on it. Now Tuskegee's got 5 on it as well. They go to 5-1 in conference play and 5-3 overall. As the players shake hands, we'll take a break and come back and wrap things up here on the Golden Tiger Sports Network.
Hello, Tuskegee fans. I'm Lawrence Tony Haygood, Mayor of the historic city of Tuskegee, Alabama, and this is Golden Tiger Sports Network.
Hey, are you fixing the power?
Yep, I'm gonna get the lights back on.
Yeah, my power went out and I have to start level 14 all over again in our game. Yeah, why didn't mine go out?
Well, we have this technology that can stop an outage in its tracks.
Why?
So less people will be affected during the outage.
Why?
So you can make the level 15?
Come on, Brian. Let's go to your house and keep playing.
Good luck, guys.
Back live here at McPherson Stadium on the campus of Central State University in Wilberforce, Ohio. It's all over at this point. Tuskegee wins it 30-14 over the Marauders of Central State in an SIAC contest. And Tuskegee with the win now goes to 5-1 in conference play and 5-3 overall. And Mark, in a ball game that had a lot of high moments for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee, we have to choose our Alabama Power TU play of the day. A lot of things to choose from, but this is the one that we've come up with as the winner. This one to Beckford. Beckford directing traffic, found the lane, jumps through the coverage there. Foot race, and Beckford off to the races for 53 yards on this touchdown run for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. Just hit that second gear, and he goes to the end zone for the Golden Tigers, and Tuskegee extended its lead, and that is your Alabama Power TU play.
I like how Beckford pointing out the block, and Stinton got the message through the block, Touchdown.
Flip the script now. We talk about Tuskegee defense with the Yellowwood defensive play of the day for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. And it comes on special teams for Tuskegee. Marauders trying to get back into this ball game, but that special teams with the block there of the field goal attempt able to deny them the points and to turn that football back over to the offense with a good special teams effort overall. But that is our Yellowwood defensive play of the day for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. So that special teams unit just rolls on and on in terms of its contribution to help that offense get into a better position on the football field and denying scores for the opposition. So Tuskegee with the 30-14 lead, win mark, and they came up here on the road, 10-hour bus ride, and did what they needed to do on the road.
The operative word, I have to give credit to the Tuskegee coaching staff, the entire staff. The word for today is preparation. Coming off that bus ride, coming out on game day early, you don't want to over-prepare, but you definitely want to have the team focused enough and physically ready to go, and Tuskegee was.
They were, and they won at 30-14 as a result. We are in Atlanta next weekend at Clark Atlanta University to meet the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. That'll be a 12 noon start for that football game. That one with conference significance because Clark Atlanta was off this week, and the Golden Tigers will come into Atlanta with a chance to separate themselves from Clark Atlanta and stay in contention for that SIAC tournament game. Mark, on the road, great working with you as usual.
It's been a blast. Let's do it again next week.
Yeah, we'll set it up this time in Georgia at Atlanta. Join us then. Special thanks to Tuskegee University President Dr. Mark Brown, who was here today at Central State. Dr. Alonda Rice, the Chief Operating Officer at Tuskegee University. Of course, A.D. Ruffin, the Director of Athletics at Tuskegee. Deborah Rogers, quick hat off to Deborah. Shout out to her for a great job of organizing that pep rally and press conference at the Chappie James Center. Just a wonderful job of organizing that. Tanya Lee and Stefan Smith in the Office of Communications and Marketing, and Jordan Benson, Sports Information Director at Tuskegee University, always getting us ready for these ball games in great shape with information that we wouldn't, so much more that we could ever even use on a broadcast. So big shout out to him. Nick Brown, game operations manager for Tuskegee, and to our production team with Lisa Burnett and Marcus Burnett handling our coverage along with our great camera crew for the shots that you saw here this afternoon. Again, to Mark Lassiter for his game analysis for this contest and as usual during the course of the season. And special thanks to you for watching our coverage here from Central State. Once again, Tuskegee wins it 30-14 over the Marauders of Central State, and we cannot get out of here again without thanking Central State University Athletics Director Kavisha Brown. Thank you so much for allowing us to be here with the coverage. Until next Saturday from Atlanta, Georgia, Charles Ward saying thanks so much for watching us here on the Golden Tiger Sports Network. And this has been a production of the Golden Tiger Sports Network. See you on Saturday.